Hello, hello, and hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, episode number 158. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, this evening, this morning. However you are doing it, we very much appreciate it. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here. Sitting to the right of me is the Trailmaster of Puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. The game changer, Jess, is working tonight. And we were going to try to hold off to do it, but we have to get the show out. Because that's kind of like the thing we do. But don't fret. She will be on the next show with a special guest. Not really a guest, but you'll figure it out as soon as the show goes. Mm-hmm. Thank you again so much for joining us. This is a very honest discussion about Disneyland. So this is your first time checking us out. You're going to find it. If you enjoy talking about Disneyland Park, DCA, and the company, you've come to the right place because this is what we do. Tonight's show is going to be very special. We have another guest on. He's a friend. He's Sam Carter from Carter Creative. We're going to talk to him about his stuff and about his thoughts. He's got a lot of really good thoughts about DCA and Disneyland, and it's great when we can talk to him because we learn something new. We get to exchange ideas and information, and he's a very cool guy. So hope you guys enjoy that. If you'd like to help out the show at all, we do have a Patreon page. Go to leavingtodaypodcast.com, click on the Patreon logo right there. We make it super simple for you. All right, $1, $3, or $5. One-time payment or a recurring theme or a recurring payment, whatever, it's all good. And for that, you get to be on the show and you'll get some swag. That being said, we have a Patreon guy coming up soon to talk about his stuff. He had a really cool idea. We're going to talk to him about that. Mm-hmm. Okay. You can also buy shirts off at tpublic.com, and everything is on Instagram from us. We have a link tree on there with all the links to everything, so that'll work out. Okay, we have the news tonight, and tonight's opening question is going to be Disneyland After Dark. What Disneyland After Dark theme would make you want to go to it? And what is that all about? I mean, what is it? I did post a couple questions on Instagram, too. I forgot about that, about beating the heat when you're at the park. So as Udi mulls over his answer for Disneyland After Dark, let me see if I can find those about the heat.
Okay. There are a few that we know of already, right, that we've had. One that I think would be great right now, would make me want to go, is that they haven't, I think they've done in the past, but is going like opening day night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Opening day night would be fun. And how they could, I mean, you could go to retro decoration, go back to, and then, having everybody wear, 1950s 50s attire.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, playing music of the era. Go back to opening day, having everything, any audio and that kind of thing, go back to any attraction that was open, running to opening day scripts, the whole thing. I think that would be a lot of fun. And even here's a crazy one.
5-cent popcorn?
Yeah, there you go. Dropping down to like...
Is that what you're going to say?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we did not script that, guys.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, dropping down prices to opening day prices, that kind of thing. I mean, I would actually... Mm-hmm. What do they do? I mean, what is it, like $80, $90 for an After Dark or more?
Well, the only one I've been to is the Villains Night at DCA, and that was about
110 was it?
Or 110, 120 around that, and it was a great time. I was with my daughters. We ate a lot, and it was a great time. But I would rather it would be at Disneyland and not DCA.
Well, I would pay $130, like $150 for that, and then have that drop down to that price. So kind of like you're going to pay a little bit more, but when you're in the park, you're going to be paying less overall for food and beverages. I
wonder if they would ever do that.
They wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't. That's a cool concept, though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think it'd be great, and then have if you could have Walt walking around. I mean, there are many.
Walt.
Yeah.
You mean someone that looked like him? Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Character.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Dude. Right, and have like the swing dancing over. Oh, dude. And
it'd be great.
Yeah, and the live music on the Mark Twain.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, dude.
You think about it,
dude. I am thinking about it, and I'm thinking that I would actually go to that.
I would go. I would get a full suit. I have no problem wearing them.
Do you have a 50s style suit?
No.
You have to
I
go
would get one.
I guess you can rent those, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you probably want to rent that.
Yeah. I would do it.
I would do it too. And then you could but they would only have, here's the other caveat to that, is that they would not have any attractions opened that were built after.
Well, no, you can't do that. But
They couldn't shut down Galaxy's Edge?
No.
Oh, what a mess, right. Because then they couldn't have pirates going.
Nope.
Oh, my gosh. Scratch that idea, listeners. Horrible idea. Despicable idea on my part.
Yeah, on your part.
Yes.
Like mine is brilliant. Yours, not so much.
Oh, I'm just trying to augment yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you failed.
I did fail. No, I did fail. I was thinking out loud, but no, dude,
Yeah.
I think that is a home run. A 50s night or opening day night where you dress up. Ooh, and they have dinner shows, too. You have a dinner show. Yeah, so live music and dancing, and these prices have to all play a part in that. That'd be. Oh, you know what they could do is also maybe bring out some vintage attraction vehicles from Autopia
have them around,
cars.
yeah, and have them there.
And just you could either
Photo op.
yeah. Some Mr. Toad stuff. Yeah, yeah, that would be great.
Think about it, man. That would be like a playground for people.
It would be. It would be a playground. I know the lines for those pictures would be astronomically long. That being said, we could do a lot of other things. But would I want a picture inside one? I might. Shoot, I might. If there was a Matterhorn, I might do that. That might be one I would do.
Yeah, you're like, I will suffer through that to get that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That is a very cool idea.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm just trying to augment onto that. Okay.
Told you I had one.
You did. No, that was awesome. And I can't even come up with a better one. Okay, so I did pose a question the other day because it was just El Scorcho here, how hot it was. For those of you listening, I guess everyone's listening if you're hearing my voice. We are in Northern California, so we are about 6 or 7 hours north of Anaheim. It gets hot up here. And the other day, I was just thinking, gosh, what would you do to beat the heat? Although I have some pretty good ideas. I just wanted to post it out there. We got a few answers. Here we go. Skittle Muffin said, the Little Mermaid ride has great AC and going to watch Mr. Lincoln.
Yep.
Yes.
Both great.
Yes, I agree. Get out of the heat, and those are two very good things.
I've done Lincoln before for that.
Oh, I haven't done it to escape the heat. I just happened to go in there. It may have been raining, but...
I know, I go walk in the rain.
Yeah, I do too, but I think I just ducked in there. And yeah, you're right. Little Mermaid is icy cold in there. That's great. Disney Universe podcast said Frozen Jack and Coke too, if needed.
Agreed.
Okay, I have to know who started the Frozen Jack and Coke thing first. Were you guys there at the same time?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm going to go with probably Joe.
Really?
Yeah. Probably Joe.
Probably Joe. That's something Joe would probably know.
Yeah.
Okay, Marcus said, get to the park early, get back to the hotel for a nap in the afternoon when it's crazy hot and super crowded, then go back and close the park. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Maybe jump in the pool? Okay. Christine Helm 1313. Yeah, she listens to the show a lot. Thank you so much. Knowing where the best AC vents are in the shops, also wearing sunscreen helps keep the sun off your skin, helping you to keep you cooler outside. Very good. Yep. Knowing where those AC vents are in the shops. Maybe you can share that with us because I don't know all of those. I know a couple of them. I'm going to throw a quick thing. Go into Golden Horseshoe for a root beer float or something, a beverage of your choice, and hang out up there. It's always cold in there.
You can also go into Indy, the queue. The entirety of the queue pretty much is within shade, and then once you drop into the lower ends of the queue, it is a tendency to be cooler because they are moving air through there. The other one would be, Haunted.
Yeah.
Go into Haunted for a little bit.
Yep.
When you're in there, entirety is all air conditioned. I had one more.
It's a smart world. It's always
God no.
No.
I will sweat 5 pounds off before I go do that.
Hydrate is the key.
And I think, I thought I had one more.
What could it be? Another
Tiki room.
Take your room? Mm-hmm. And Space Mountain is always cold.
Yep.
It has to be.
Yep.
Because you're in space.
Mm-hmm. No one can hear you scream.
No one's going to know that reference either. Yeah. Aliens. Okay. Yeah, so those are some really good answers. But, Christine, let us know those secret AC spots because I would like to know that. I would very much like to know that. Okay. Well, that is the opening question, and we got that going. I'm glad we got that, and very good answer. Okay. Now, we're going to go over to the news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
All right. So first, there's a lot of news going on, and by the time this airs, you guys would have already digested the Magic Key stuff, but we're still going to talk about it a little bit. But let's get around a couple items first. First news item is nighttime runs resume for Disneyland Monorail for the first time since the pandemic closures.
Amazingly cool.
Amazingly cool, and you know what? I didn't even know they weren't running at night.
Yep.
I wonder why.
I don't. Good question. I don't know why they wouldn't run it at night. You think? Well, okay. If I recall correctly, they weren't running it because of the closed quarters kind of environment that you're in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they've been running it during the day.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well,
if they're running off any COVID protocols, we all know how those are right now.
Yeah,
have been.
Yeah, I think those are gone by the wayside.
Thank the Lord.
Yes, and but I do know that Monorail does not have any kind of air conditioning unit. Ooh, Udi, what if you were working for Disneyland and said, Udi, you need to install an air conditioning unit?
Done.
That's done? That's you think that would be simple for that?
Actually, no.
It'd be kind of hard.
It would be a little complicated because it wouldn't be your conventional home compressor with an air handler type unit. It would have to be a little bit more of a self-contained unit. It would be a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, but it could be done.
Oh, it could be done.
Yeah.
It could be done. For a lot of people who don't know, air conditioning has to work on a push-pull. Pushes in cold air, will pull in hot air, versus vice versa. So you need both of those working in concert with each other.
Yeah.
So when your air conditioning isn't working properly, they're not. There you go. So like, why is it so hot? It's not blowing out air because it's probably not sucking enough of the hot air out, and it's causing it to clog up. There's a lot of things, but, clean. Okay, this is my HVAC moment for ever, I think.
Okay.
Clean your condenser coils.
Okay.
Just clean them.
Just clean them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
That is the shortest segment ever.
And we're done.
LTP is
All right. HVAC life with.
Yeah, HVAC live with Udi. But you know what? I'm glad they're running at night. I think if you get the opportunity to ride them at night, the park looks spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I made the comment before. If you can ride in on the morning, like, oh, man, it's still one of the best times going in.
You don't prefer that over going to the...
No. I've made the comment before, like, do it, but make it, like, on your second or third day. Yeah, no. You do first day stuff on the first day.
Yeah.
But no, going in and riding in on the monorail in the morning is pretty cool.
Yes.
Because the park is pretty quiet, and you have that above view of everything, and it really, if you haven't done it, it's kind of cool. It, like any time you go up above, again, one of the many reasons why, having anything up above is incredibly cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So having Skyway, that's one of the things why Skyway will always be in my heart.
Right.
Is because it changed your view on the park. So monorail will do the same exact thing on a lower scale, but do it in the morning. Do it in the morning, and then at night is another one. I've ridden it in at night, and you know what? Oddly enough, not as cool until you go into Tomorrowland.
Oh.
Then with all the light, you actually hit that, and then that's like when Tomorrowland is actually halfway okay. Is at night because it's lit up.
Right.
But yeah, if you can do it, walk in. Rope drop, kind of 8 o'clock. Go in and ride it all the way in and jump and hop off on Tomorrowland.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I like it coming from downtown Disney when it's outside the berm and it's just to the right of Space Mountain. Then it keeps going left and just peeks into the trees, and then it's a whole different experience.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, next news item: the Haunted Mansion Holiday transformation begins at Disneyland Park. Construction walls now surround the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland Park, which is closed to become Haunted Mansion Holiday. Supposed to open September 2nd. So that's good. I'm glad this is coming back. It feels, I mean, we are recording today and it is hot, but just thoughts of Halloween and fall just kind of cool things down a little bit.
Yeah.
And that might be,
no doubt.
That might be where I think we may be entering the best phase of the park right now, the whole fall into winter.
We can make the argument, but my personal one, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. We're going to, let me see. Before we get into the Magic Keys, one other news item that was interesting is former Fast Pass station turned into Matterhorn rest area at Disneyland. So this is right across from the entrance to the Matterhorn. This used to be where you would get the Fast Pass. They had the Fast Pass terminals there. Those are gone, and now there's like a kiosk with two cast members standing there under an umbrella. And it's right underneath the monorail track. And one side of the sign says Matterhorn Rest Area. And if you go to the other side of it, it says Matterhorn Trail, which is interesting. Kind of cool, but I don't know if I'd be spending much time there. It's probably a good spot to take a picture. Don't know why we're doing that.
I mean, maybe one of the I don't know. There's a spot over here.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. Put a bench there?
Maybe some benches. And it looks like it's partially shaded, so it's probably not that bad. Not that
Probably.
Nah. Okay. Now, all of you people that are listening to the show, I'm sure you guys listen to other podcasts and other things, and they've already kind of dissected the Magic Keys. But I think we still need to talk about them because it's important. So, after a long wait, Disneyland Magic Keys annual pass renewal information is finally here. You'll be able to renew your expiring Magic Key beginning August 18th. Unfortunately, there are no new Magic Key sales available at first, as Disneyland prioritizes existing program participants. There are some changes. So really what that means is like we couldn't even if we loved these things, we actually could not get them today because both Udi and I let ours, well, everyone got their annual pass canceled. I chose not to renew the Magic Key, and neither did Udi at that point.
Nope.
So we do not have the opportunity to buy a key into the Magic. But let's talk about this.
Do we want to talk about it, or I guess we'll talk about it first.
You go talk about it.
Okay, so we got them, and we talked and theorized about maybe they would give them a D23, but being like how the cutoff was before D23, we're kind of like, well, what does that mean? Blah blah. Well, now we find out what that means. It means that we got them before D23, which is what D23 by the time this comes out is that week.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, well, cool. We have mentioned on the show quite a few times what we had hoped to get. What we're like, hey, if they did that, clean up a little bit here. Some of the things that we're kind of want about, the Magic Key, the initial offering. We're like, okay, maybe they're going to clean them up and make it a little bit better. And then we got what we got. And what did I send you, Mark?
You've sent me a lot of stuff.
I know. Most of it we can't repeat on this. No, I'm kidding. No, about this specifically, I think I said, well, no Magic Key for me.
Well, or
something along those lines.
Yeah, or me. I mean, because they're not even selling them to us.
Yeah.
It's only the people that have renewals coming up that people can get these.
So, to me, I mean, okay, I kind of... There's a part of me that kind of gets that because they want to hold that money. Mm-hmm. And then there's the other part of me that's like, what does it matter? Mm-hmm. Maybe they're trying to make people who are existing key holders, want to re-up them. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It makes, I mean, like I said, it makes a little bit of sense, but overall not a whole lot. Like, why would it matter if you can only renew it and you can't begin to sell?
Yeah.
I don't follow the logic completely, so to me, I just throw my hands up and go like, okay. But, you know, going more into it, I don't know if you want to actually go into in more specific detail.
Well, we can. Oh, about each of the keys.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do like a view from 10,000 feet on these. So it starts off the lower level is the Imagine key, and this was the SoCal key basically. This is the one that's restricted to Southern California in between certain zip codes. There is some shenanigans going on already with these bottom ones. Because you get 2 park reservation holds at a time. That's not a big deal. You get 10% off select merchandise, 10% off select food and beverage. That's nothing new. Although I'm going to put an asterisk by that. It is new because I'm learning as these unfold that if there's a blockout date and you, let's say, hey, I'm going to go to downtown Disney, they don't give you that 10% discount. Yes, you heard that right. Yeah, I know. That's ridiculous, right? Okay, next is new 25% off standard theme park parking at the Toy Story parking lot.
Don't care.
Well, you should care because if you want to park along Catella or I mean Harbor down by Mickey and Friends, that's not what this is for. This is for that structure, that Toy Story structure.
Yeah.
So you don't get to park wherever you want. This is only 25% off of that other one.
Yeah, the one down the way.
It's the parking.
Yeah.
Lot.
The one,
Yeah. So if you don't want to park there, you're not getting 25% off. But again, this doesn't apply. I don't even know the last time I parked it. I know when it was. It was for Rise of the Resistance because I actually had my car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then you get 20% off a Genie Plus service. So that's, how much is that, $20?
So $2?
Yeah, great. You're paying $18.
Woo.
Okay, so this went up $4.49. I think it was $3.99 last time.
Yeah, it went up like $40-50.
Yeah. And this one's blackout dates galore.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, you know what? I find it interesting with the, you know, maybe. Well, my fault for not looking into it before because it just hit me. Isn't there pending litigation over things like
there is? There was that Dream Key one, and that one's not even on the list anymore.
Yeah. So to me, right now, I'm kind of like, where are we on that litigation side of things? I mean, I think we can make arguments all up and down. You're going to pay less. Obviously, you're going to black out more. But some of this crap is kind of excessive, man. You know what I mean?
It's excessive. And, you know, I'm just going to say, if you're in the fence about buying one, just really consider if you want this one or you want to wait till 2023. Because I think something else is coming. Like right now, when you agree to buy this new version, you're agreeing to not have litigation against Disneyland.
Yeah.
So you are waiving your right.
Correct.
So just, you know,
you can make that argument pretty. I mean, if you wanted to do it down the future, and you know, Disney could quite easily go, you agreed to the terms.
Yeah.
If you knew what was going on.
Yeah. Read the fine print.
Yep.
So there's that one, and I'll just say this: even if they were selling them right now to anybody, I don't think I would still be interested. No. At this point. I mean,
and again, I think they okay. When the keys came up, and I'll go back real quick. We were all kind of happy because we were happy that we're getting signals to returning to normalcy.
Yeah.
But we'd all hoped that we would get a better offering. And particularly now, that is what we were kind of like, okay, it made sense at the beginning, coming out of COVID and all that maybe, you know, they're being really restrictive and a lot of things, not wanting to give a lot out because capacities and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure if you and I and Jess sat down at a table with the people who came up with these, that we could, you know, and pick their brain. Maybe we could get rationale. Like anything, agree or disagree, we're going to be missing pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So now getting these, it definitely makes me feel like they phoned it in. They phoned it in.
Yeah.
And maybe, trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Not knowing in the climate we're currently in, because there are some people who refuse to let it go. And sadly, some of those people happen to be in our government. They refuse to let it go. So as a corporation, you got to sit there and go, well, okay, we're in California. California doesn't make it easy for a business.
Or anyone, really.
Really anyone. Thank you. Not going to jump on my political soapbox. Not going to do it.
Not today.
Not today. Hit me up later if you guys want to have a discussion. Anyway, but you have to tread carefully, and you have to almost overplan. Because what if, going out there, what if, some crazy person decides like, hey, there's some weird pox of some kind. And now all the madness they want to bring back, and then here we go again.
Right.
So there's a level of me kind of have that, as a board member or a president or a vice president or director of marketing or any high-level decision-making position, you're usually taking more into consideration than what maybe you and I would do, unless we have that mental mindset to do that. I think you and I do. I think a lot of people do. We do have that mental mindset. We try to look at the bigger picture, try to get a better understanding of why a decision is made. And I think here we are again with the keys going, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like,
no.
There are things that you raise the price. Okay, I mean, we all know without a doubt that's going to happen.
Sure.
Okay? I mean, but then we look at the offering and go like, that offering sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, to be blunt.
It does. When someone goes, oh, well, this is the least I could do. Well, to me,
clearly.
This is the least they could do.
Yeah, like, oh, no, wait, don't get out of your seat. Oh, look, all that email thread about talking about plans and possible potential ideas for new keys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just throw that in your trash bin right away and just delete it. Okay, delete that thread. And that's what I feel like. I'm like, dude, were you on the golf course and you got like, what? You want to do? Yeah, dude, no, hey, I got a birdie going right now. Okay, hey, sure, and then hang up.
Sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, what? How do you say sure? I mean, what would you say? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Why not?
Yeah, sure. Why not? There you go. Why sure? Yeah, sure. Why not? And that's what I feel like. I mean, we can break every one of these down, and we're all going to sit here and go like, really?
Yeah, I mean, so the big difference between the Enchant key and was it Imagine key? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
It's
other than the $250 or $150 price hike.
Was
right?
No, $449 to $6
$250 and
$50
price hike.
Yeah, you get 2 more reservation holds at a time.
Who cares?
And you still get the same 10% off on food and merch.
I love that triple asterisk.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I have to read what that is.
Yeah, I know. It's probably the same thing.
Well, I think it's when you're when you're visiting the park and not on a day off when you're blocked out. I don't think you need to have like a reservation to get it, but I think on a blocked out day, I don't know how they actually. I don't know. That's kind of fuzzy to me. Then you get 25% off of parking at Toy Story.
Don't care.
And then you get $2 off at Disney Genie, which you probably don't need.
So here, I want to make this comment real quick. About the parking. They're trying to make it like new 25. Almost everybody who has one of these. They already know how to circumvent.
Oh, yeah.
The parking.
Yeah.
I mean, we do.
Sure.
I mean, constantly. And again, most people who are going to have it aren't the people who get APs are not the average park goer. They're not.
No.
So when they offer things like discounted parking, we look at it like don't care.
No.
They're going to be those who do.
If they had said 25% off a ticket for a guest,
bingo.
That's a different story.
Now we're talking. Now we're like, hey. And again, those are the things that Disney could have done.
Sure.
To bring people back in. And that's why I'm looking at this offer going, okay, we're missing a piece here. Mm-hmm. Why they would have stuck to a rather lame program. Okay?
Right.
So again, I'll go down the tangent of freaking Mr. Chapek, the devil we need. Mm-hmm. And I said it before, when something comes out that we're like, no, we got to call it out. Mm-hmm. And this is what we're doing right here. Yeah. This is lame. And again, I know, Mark, you're like, hey, man, I know you. We have often the conversation, and we had it on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Well, when are you going back? And we talked about when you're going.
Yeah.
Then you asked me when I'm going, and I went,
Oh, I thought you might be going in November.
I might be going in November, but...
I just realized that. I just remembered that.
Yeah, we talked about that. I don't know if I'm going to go in November. Honestly, to be real, I don't know. I have the invite. I can go. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I want to go. I don't know. And it's sad to me that I'm here at that moment where I'm like this coming week or next weekend, I'll be out of state, off on an adventure. And
that's more appealing to you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Like we've talked about it, and I think we're kind of like the petri dish. When we talked about it before about how, the park being closed could be a benefit and a good and a bad, and how we had to learn how to put our money, effort, and energy into maybe other things in the park that we put in. And now I think a lot of people are beginning to feel that. And then, we look at like the offering of the keys and APs, and those are definitely things that could draw a lot of people back in. Mm-hmm. Like it could draw you back in, it could draw me back in.
Yep.
And it's just not there yet.
No.
I mean, plain and simply, I really want to know what you guys think about it. I really want to hear. Have we put that out there?
No, we haven't. Yeah, we will.
Yeah, because I think this is, rife for conversation. I know this is probably one of the biggest topics right now in the whole Disneyland community. Yeah. Is like, okay, now the keys are out, and then what is everybody thinking? I have I've been so freaking busy, I haven't really been paying attention. I'm gonna probably make a fair bet that a lot of people are like, WTF, yo.
There probably are. I mean, there's always going to be that group of like crazy Disneyland vloggers that 1600s are like a really good deal.
Yeah, but if
it isn't.
Yeah, no, it really isn't. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. If they're going to go if they can book 6 reservations,
they're making money off of it.
Yeah. What was the Flex Pass maximum reservation? Was it 4?
4.
4.
No, 3.
It was 3.
3.
Okay. But we need to figure out a way to get through that, too.
Yeah, we waited for the midnight hit. The midnight hit, you went in. Midnight hit, it dropped. You could put it in right away.
Yeah.
Like I said, we had the Flex Pass down to freaking signs, man.
Right. Or as soon as you checked in, you could book another one. Okay. Yep. Like right there while you're in the...
Oh, yeah, dude. We like I said, how many times did we go to the park and we're like, well, we have a 3-day reservation, but we're going to be here for 4. And did I ever have a worry that I wasn't going to get in for day 4? Nope.
No.
Not a one.
Not a one. All right, so the Believe key is sitting around $1,100, and you get 6 park reservations. That's up from 4 from the previous one. But you get half off of parking at select lots. Now, not Toy Story, but any other lots that they have available. Then you get the standard 10% off of food and merch. But now you get new unlimited Disney PhotoPass digital photo downloads. Now, I've never utilized that stuff.
No.
I know some people do like that.
They do.
And that's probably a good perk for them, I guess. And then you get $2 off at Disney Genie Plus, and you get more days available.
And you get $4 off, man. Get your math right.
$4?
Yeah, 20% off, not 10% off. Was it 20% before?
Yeah. It was,
okay, never mind. Yeah. My math is bad. So $4. Yeah. So that's 16.
No, 18.
Oh, you're right. No, $2 per 10.
Oh, I'm thinking of...
You're thinking of the other one. See, they did beef it up. The other one was 10% off.
Oh, no, it was 20.
20.
Oh, so wait a minute.
Oh, it has been 20.
Oh, right.
My fault. Okay.
Yeah, so...
$16.
Yeah,
so back to when they originally did it, was like 10 and then to 15 and then 20.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, okay. Okay.
But you get a bigger...
You know what would be better? If they just gave it to you. But, hey, what do I know?
Or allowed you to buy it for the whole year.
Correct.
Or the length of your...
Yep.
Yeah.
Infinitely better.
Didn't they do that?
They did.
I thought they did.
They did.
with the pre-COVID
Yeah, I
version.
forgot it was like 50 or 60 extra.
For the Max Pass. Okay, anyways.
Okay, but okay, I'll let you finish. But I'm like, as we're talking, like my mind is starting. Well, okay, theorize.
Go
okay,
ahead, theorize, because all I was
yeah.
going to say is that this one adds a lot more days that are open. In fact,
Right.
all of September is open. Most of October weekdays are open, except for Saturdays are not available. Half of November is open. Half of December is open. All of January is open, except for the 1st, New Year's Day. So far, that's a much better. How much you paying that for? 1,100.
1,100. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, you know, my theory is going to run with again, coming off of COVID pandemic, and you know, Chapek has been known to be a what's the word I want to say?
There's a lot of ways you're going to go here. I don't know.
Very frugal. I'll go with frugal.
Yeah.
When was the last time you heard the word frugal? Very frugal with money and being pinpoint. Now, I'm going to run off on a little rumor tangent real quick.
Oh.
Rumor has it that Bob Chapek, around the office, he got his re-up, and he is loosening up. That is the rumor that a lot of people that have been working in Disney and around Bob himself for a while. I mean, he's been in the company for how many years now? 20? I got to go back.
Chapek?
Yeah, I forget his biography. Like, when I started reading about him, I'm like, oh, man, he's been around longer than I thought. But anyway, yeah, people are saying, like, this is a new Bob.
Oh.
So it made me think, you know, if those rumors happen to be true, what does that mean for the future of the company?
Well, I think
curious.
I think it means we're going to get a better park experience. If that's what you're going at, I think, and I think we're going to learn a lot at D23, and we're going to have to talk to Sam about that.
Yeah.
About what we might be seeing, and if he is going to be this way, I think that's great because Disneyland. I mean, I've said this before. You don't have to do much; just treat the guests right, and we will come. We are religiously going to come to this park.
Correct. You know, I think any company entity that has a customer facing part to it. The customer is going to be one of those things where, I mean, obviously it'll vary, but when you're talking about Disneyland, you know, specifically, it is everything to do with the customer experience. Not, you know, everything. Not, it isn't an aspect, it isn't part, well, you got to look at it. No. It's everything.
Right.
If you make that experience once in a lifetime, the money that will flow out of people's pockets, there will be no end to that, okay?
Oh, right.
Part of the reason why we go to the park and gone to the park is our connection to it because of how we feel when we go. So understanding that the emotion behind it is going to be key, I think looking at these offerings makes me go, okay, they're not back there yet. They're still in that weird kind of like, well, we got to make our money back. We got to be a little bit more frugal. We got to do all these things because we've lost billions upon billions of dollars, and we need to begin to make the company more profitable. We're not, I mean, we can go off on streaming, which we are going to be talking about in an upcoming show. I don't know when we're going to slot that, but about streaming.
Oh, yes.
And a few different ideas behind streaming, the Disney Plus, and kind of, you know, the back and the forth and the good and the bad and how we feel about it. But, you know, all these things are going to be included in there. And that was another part of the whole rumor thing, is that Bob Chapek, a lot of people are saying that he's bound and determined to return the company as a whole to profitability.
Yeah.
And to me, it's a good thing. We whatever we put our effort, energy, and money into, we clearly care about it, right?
Sure.
So we want it to be healthy and growing. right?
Yeah.
You get those weird people go like, oh my gosh, it's too big now. It's popular and I don't like it. Like how many times you got a band like, oh dude, this band's like underground, and then it gets popular like, oh, and you stop listening to them.
Yeah.
But overall with Disney, it's a different thing. But I mean, for the most part, people, once we get into that and we know and understand Disney, we're there. We're there. We're locked in. It's because of how we connected.
It is, yeah. I mean, and we all have our different reasons. For what the park means to us.
Yeah,
and
it's very individual.
It is, yeah. Well put, Eddie.
Thank you.
The new one is called the Inspire Key, and that's sitting at $1,600, or $133.25 per month. Again, you get 6 park reservations, like the previous one. You get standard theme park parking. Oh, this one comes with parking included.
Ooh.
Okay, and 20% off of food. No, 15 merchandise and 15 off of food.
See? Well.
Okay. They should trickle these down to the ones.
This should be down at the Believe. That should be starting at Believe. Kid.
Absolutely. New unlimited photo pass, Disney photo pass, and 20% off of Genie Plus. And you get a lot more open dates.
Well, I mean, you're dropping $1,600 in a year.
Yeah.
I want to go when I want to go.
If I lived, 20 minutes from the park, I'd be getting this. Probably.
It would be tempting.
Yeah,
it would be.
I would just, it's a lot of money a month, though, for this.
Yeah,
133?
Yeah. You got to put 20% down, right?
No, there is no, none of these require a down payment.
Oh, they got rid of that, eh?
But this is just for the renewal ones, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for renewal. Oh, okay, see, there's another way to try to get the people in.
Yeah. So I would imagine, though, that I don't know. If you do it online, I don't know if there's a way to say, hey, can I put $500 down? And then, because previously you could.
Yeah.
You go, well, like, for example, if this was like $1,600, you can go, well, can I put $500 down and then just pay the rest? And they would do that for you.
Yeah, and that would be cool. Mm-hmm. And I would hope that they would continue, because that is a customer, that is tailoring that to you in a very specific and unique way. Yeah. And when anybody does that for anybody, it's an important feeling. It's called, what plus in it is, as Walt would say. Yeah. I don't like the term, but it was his. But that's what it is. It's making magic for an individual. Yeah. And I think that would be a good thing. Sure. Yeah, I don't know. Again, without going through the process, not planning on it now for another year. Well, at least maybe. Yeah, let's see what happens in 2023. Yeah, 2023 is, sadly enough, not that far away.
It isn't, but I've said this maybe a dozen times. Is like the Flex Pass came overnight. It just showed up.
Like it dropped in, and we all went wait, and then as we learned how to maneuver it, and we kind of got into, we kind of all went like, holy crap, this is probably like the best thing we've ever seen. Yeah. And it just showed up. Yeah, like being like out of the blue, right? Yeah, it was like, did you guys see this? No, what is that? I'm like, this thing couldn't actually work. Yeah, and then remember we were trying to figure it out. We were reading, it's like, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah.
And then bam, that thing, I have to think that thing sold gangbusters.
Oh, man. For sure, yeah, I would imagine.
Which is why I wonder why they haven't come back to it yet.
Well, I still think we're in the reservation mode where they're just trying to get it back on its feet. And I think maybe sometime next year, they may stop this reservation stuff.
I hope.
Or at least have a couple passes that don't have it, and have a couple other ones that do have it, and then we'll see how things work out for us.
Yeah, because I think like we made the comment before, and I think a lot of people and a lot of our listeners, we've had a few different discussions with a few different people. Yeah, and I think most people have all gotten to a point like, okay, we understood why it happened. But now any real need for a reservation system has gone away, or is going away. It's like on the bullet train on out of here. No. And so we need to get the reservation system on the caboose of that train, just make it go. We're done. Right. Yeah. Why even argue over it? Why even blah blah blah? You go to the park. If it's packed, we were all used to that. Mm-hmm. And we all understood that you had that chance of the park being madness, but a good kind,
Yeah, you know.
It never bothered me. It never bothered me at all.
No, because I think you and I are able to manage our expectations, and you know, everyone that's with us or in our group kind of follows suit, and we know what we want to do, and we know how to do the things, and if it gets too hot and heavy, we know where to go to chill off a little bit. So it doesn't really bother me so much.
Yeah, again, but see, again, the focus that we clearly can tell has been, you know, moved away from people like you and me and our listeners and the avid goer, has been moved away because I think, again, Disney, unfortunately, like a lot of companies will begin to migrate away from the people who got them there in the search for more.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
And they forget. And I would hope that, you know, there are some companies out there that completely forget and then they wind up falling apart or becoming some other weird thing. But anyway, I don't think Disney will ever do that.
No.
And so I hope they begin to maneuver back in the direction of the people who got them there and show appreciation for it.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. And I think we're going to get there. So here we are. Towards the end of summer 2022, Magic Keys have been relaunched for the renewals, and all I have to say is read the fine print. If this appeals to you, go ahead and do it. But I think more offerings are gonna come down in 2023.
Yeah, I would hope.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is the news. Now we're gonna have a special guest on the show. And we know you will enjoy it. This is our feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
Hey, LTP, this is our feature presentation tonight. We have a return guest, friend of the show. I guess he's a guest. I mean, that kind of sounds kind of impersonal, but it's
guest is fine.
Guest is fine, but he's definitely a friend of the show.
Yep.
If you recognize that voice, that's kudos to you. That is Sam Carter from Carter Creative, also host of Nostalgia's Fast Pass podcast. Hey, Sam.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
How are you?
Dude,
Thanks for having me back.
Dude, anytime. Thank you for wanting to come back.
I will always nerd out about stuff I love, and I know you guys love it as much as I do.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Absolutely. Because we're going to talk a little bit about D23 this evening, and maybe
Can't wait.
And
around the corner.
And what we think might happen. What we there's all this talk about Tomorrowland, and so when that happens. I think I love talking about it, and I know Sam does this too. There's only like a handful of us that love talking about it. Actually, there's probably not more than a handful, but people that I know that really want to actually go on through this. And I know he loves Knott's, and I do have a question about Knott's too. So if I can get that in on this, bring it on.
Knott's Berry Farm was my first job. I was 15, and I was a sweeper.
You were a sweeper.
I swept up the worst things from Knott's Berry Farm. So I have earned my love of that place.
There we go.
Okay, then I'll get this out real quick, dude. How stoked are you for Montezuma's Revenge coming back next year?
Oh, man, that hurts. Well, I'm not sure because, I took the fam to Soak City and we were driving by and I saw, what's all this mustard yellow junk behind Claim Jumper? And I'm like, U-turn. Drove over there and I'm like, oh my God, it's Montezuma's Revenge, lying in pieces.
Yes.
So my son hopped out of the car with me and we went kind of exploring and
I would love that.
He never rode it, but I'm like, I think that was my first looping coaster.
That was mine.
Revolution.
Revolution, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Magic Mountain. But like for Knott's, I'm like, this is like a really important coaster as far as theme parks go. And they never really said what they were going to do. They're like, hey, we're going to fix it up. And then you kind of think, okay, that maybe it's a new launch. Maybe it's something else. But like that track and that loop did not look like it was coming back.
Right.
In fact, there was writing on some of the track that said send somewhere, right? Like, okay, that's not coming back.
Yeah.
And it started to make me think like there's Montezuma's Revenge has a sound to it. Like it's a familiar launch noise that we've heard all our life.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, the launch is going to be different. Oh, now the track's going to be different. I started thinking, well, why even call it Montezuma's Revenge? Why? What else could fit in that footprint? But since then, since I walked the dead pile of Montezuma's carcass
Man.
behind Claim Jumper, they did make a really cool announcement that showed that they're reimagining Fiesta Village.
Yes.
And there's some Disney folk working on it. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah,
Okay.
so there's some really good TLC going into that land. And when I last went to Knott's last week, there's buildings that are being just kind of like gutted and shredded. So it's not just a paint job. They're really going to fix up that area.
Well, good
so
for them.
It's going to look really cool.
Yeah, I'm in the same thought process with you, because when I saw that dismantled, I showed my girls that they don't get it, because I grew up in Northern California and we had...
I know, Great America.
We
had a
had
blue one.
Yes, we had the sister version of that one here, and that was one of my favorite attractions ever. I mean, and I'm talking like Matterhorn, tidal wave, and that level for me. So when I saw that thing, and when ours was gone, I was just okay. At least we have Knott's going. But that thing got taken apart. Now they're talking about having like a randomized launch on this one,
Which is interesting.
Very interesting, right?
What is that?
There's some themed elements. Like it looks like very, I don't know. There's like some cool soldier helmets,
Yeah.
like on spears, and I don't know. It looks fun.
Yeah, it looks fun.
And they're calling it
but to be honest,
Montezuma's
I'm more
Revenge.
excited about the land than the Montezuma's Ride.
Well, they're keeping the Montezuma name, but it's not the Revenge. It's some Spirit of Montezuma or something like
Yeah.
that. But the title, it would just take off. It's got that flywheel launch.
Yeah.
It's going to either go backwards at that speed, but
Oh, so that was what they mean by variable.
yeah, you never know if you're going to go forward or backwards first.
Oh, that is epic.
But you said they're going to
pretty
redo the track lab, because if it goes backwards, it just goes back up and then back down.
And then comes back down.
Right?
It goes through
Yeah,
the...
I think it's just going to be one of those launches, maybe like a, I don't know, like a magnetic kind of thing that just when you go over it, it's just going to keep zooming you.
Oh
I don't
my
know.
gosh, dude.
It'll be fun.
It's
Not
gonna be
knowing
a-
is the cool part.
See, not having gone to Knott's, I don't even know how long.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm going to have to go.
Dude, I keep threatening Knott's Berry Farm.
I know, and we've done it before. Like, I'm like,
Anyone that
yeah.
asks me about like how many days do I need to go to Disneyland, I always tell them add a day for Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yes.
Even if it's a half day.
Half day.
Go in the morning. Hopefully it's a weekday during school. You will knock out everything.
You know, maybe my next trip, I think I'm gonna do that. Like fly in early and then go into the park late at night, and then that is if I have a key. But anyway, we won't go into that. But that wouldn't be bad.
No.
Man, I'm gonna have to go.
No.
'Cause, I mean, it's right down, not far away.
No,
Do
it's such a cool theme area. Most of it is anyway. Some of it. I mean, dude, Calico Mine Train. Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I mean, that wrote the book.
It wrote the book.
Yep. I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what was the flume ride? What was it?
Is it Timber Creek? Is that what it's called?
Timber Creek?
It was called Bigfoot Rapids. Now it's called Calico River Rapids. It
No,
was this weird-
the log ride.
The log ride.
Oh, that's what's funny enough. It's just called Log Ride. But
Okay,
it's
okay.
Timber Mountain Log
Oh,
Ride.
Timber Mountain.
Timber Mountain. Yeah, because I remember log ride. That was like one of my intro into like water log ride. I mean, you had that, and then you had whatever
It's
we had
still
going
good.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, if you go on that and then you go on Splash Mountain, then you're gonna figure out where Splash Mountain got all of its tricks
Oh
from.
no, I knew it when the second we went on the Splash Mountain. I'm like, this feels oddly familiar.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
I knew
know-
it. Yeah.
Splash Mountain's Tony Baxter's baby, and
Yep.
Tony loves Knott's Berry Farm.
As one should.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Too many people have, yeah. See, now I feel bad, like, and Mark brings it up, and I'm like, yeah,
Well, the girls won't go with
yeah.
me, so
yeah, I'm gonna have to go now.
I can lure them into getting chicken dinner, and maybe I'll do that.
Oh man,
yeah.
I always have to tell the story of the chicken dinner, because I remember we were in the restaurant, and it was I was probably 9 years old. I want to say. And we're sitting down at dinner, and then my dad, they come around and like to pay. My dad breaks out like tickets and little ticket stubs, and I'm like, wait, like it totally blew my mind as a little kid. Like, wait, we're not paying with like actual dollars. We're paying with like, and I don't even know.
You could do that?
I don't. Yeah, and I was like, what? Like, what is going on? And my dad, my dad being my dad, was like, oh yeah, man, I just gave him some tickets and we're good now. He's like, and to me as a little 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid, I'm like, what is going on?
That's what is going on. Yeah.
The food was great,
they
but
called
I
the
don't.
cops.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we're like run, you know. No, but it was one of those things. It was like, what is going on? Yeah.
Okay, so we're not going to go too far off this, but yes, chicken dinner, Knott's Berry Farm, maybe some funnel cake, maybe.
No, funnel cake.
What?
Gotta happen.
It's got to happen.
I remember walking up and sitting there watching it getting done.
Yeah.
You know, sitting in front of the window like, look at the funnel cake being done.
Hey, you can get that at Disneyland.
I know, but you know, I don't know.
It's not the same.
Isn't it?
They had deep fried Oreo funnel cake.
What?
Oh my Lord.
Seriously?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Heart attack on a plate. Oh my.
And you know
Lord.
what? Okay, I know I said I would stop at this, but you know they always have Knott's Berry Farm always has these great festivals like the Boysenberry Festival
exactly.
and stuff
Charlie
coming
Brown
up in fall.
Festival.
Yeah, coming there's some stuff and it's like if I lived closer, I would so go to these things.
You know,
Well, that's why I treat it like the third park. If you're going to Disneyland, it's definitely like it's almost like Disney's America in a way. You know, they're going to build that on the
yeah.
East Coast.
Yeah,
And
that's a good point.
I did a it's not necessarily a podcast, but I started this YouTube series where I kind of interview like industry type people, and it's called Art of the Experience. And I got to interview 2 of the archivists and writers for some Knott's Berry Farm books and stuff. Really cool. And there's just so much. It was a giant love letter to it, but like he made it really kind of clear to me where it's kind of like the original California Adventure. It's definitely like, you know, because it's Wild West.
Yes.
And they have like, you know, the beach area and Sierra Nevada area. It's really
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Awesome. Okay, so listeners, hey, if you have not been to Knott's Berry Farm, please go check it out. I guess if you're 17 and younger, you need to bring an adult with you or something.
Yeah.
I guess.
really?
Yeah, there were some fights going on there.
Oh,
So
They were having some punks causing trouble, and they put a quick stop to it.
Yeah.
And we went that first weekend during the curfew, and it was lovely.
Oh, cool. Do you guys have annual pass there?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good for you, man. Good
And
for
the food pass. So like when you're talking about the chicken dinner restaurant, my
Yeah.
mouth's watering because it's not part of the food plan.
No?
I haven't had fried chicken in a while because like we're too busy using the food plan for everything else.
Okay, gotcha. Well, yeah.
Funnel cake's not on it either, so I'm like, oh, I need funnel cake.
you know,
But
of course, the one that people are going to migrate to are like, you know, we're going to conveniently put them off to the side there.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, next time, Sam. Okay, we're gonna shelve this right here. But next time we are down the area, will you come to chicken dinner with us at Knott's?
yes, please.
Okay.
All right.
Don't
Dude,
Yeah.
never pass an invitation.
it is on. It is on. It is on. Okay. Cool.
We were
Okay.
there today, actually. We were at Knott's this morning.
Getting
Yeah.
chicken.
No. I
Okay.
wish.
Okay. Okay. So you heard it. Sam will agree to meet us for dinner there.
There we go.
Okay. Well,
Done.
it is on. It is on.
Yep.
All right. So now we have in a couple weeks we've got D23 coming up. So we're stoked about that. I'm guessing we're drawn towards the parks panel. That's really what I want to talk
It's
about.
literally the only thing I care about.
Yes, it is for me too. Now I'm not going to go this year, but maybe next. Are you going, Sam?
I am.
Okay, good for you. I always think I want to go, but I don't know that I want to stay. What?
No. I'm gonna just hop on with that.
This is
because-
what a con is.
No. Well, true. If you haven't been to a con, which Mark, I don't think you've ever been to any form of con.
No,
have you?
dude.
Not even
Okay.
Comic-Con?
No, any
No.
con. Like I've
No.
been to cons, and it is a different world. Like when you go into a con, it is a different world. You
Okay.
like, kind of like you.
Well, you got to do your research, right? There might be like panels because I've been going to Comic-Con since I think 2004 was my first year.
Yeah, you.
Oh,
you,
geez.
You got to
There's
go to
panels. Like you
Yeah.
find out what you're into. Like just the Comic-Con that just passed, I was
San
completely
Diego?
blown away and inspired because there was a random panel I found about tiki art and like lowbrow artwork, and there's like 6 artists that I'm familiar with talking about it.
Yeah.
It's like one of the coolest panels ever.
Why weren't
Yes.
you invited for that panel, Sam?
I know, right?
Now I'm actually upset.
Yeah,
they
no,
brought that up.
No, I got to sit on a panel with Ralph and watch. I forgot what show it was. Ralph Macchio was there.
Karate Kid.
Yeah, no, it wasn't for Karate Kid. I can't remember what it was now.
Happy Days.
No, but he talked about like
wasn't he on Happy Days?
No, it wasn't.
Oh
It
no,
was-
that's Scott Bale.
Yeah, that would have been Scott Bale. But he talked about my cousin.
Chachi.
Chachi.
Chachi. Okay.
He talked about like my cousin Vinny and what happened, and And no, you're right, Sam. It's like whenever you do that, you got to find the panel. You look at like, okay, here is who is coming. Here are the panels that we're gonna do.
Yeah, you gotta do a little homework.
Yeah, I mean, because right now for my other show, the Mando show, there's going to have a Bay Area con coming, and we're like, okay, we're going to go. And the main reason is that a couple of people from the Mandalorian are going to be there.
Okay.
So we're like, okay, we're going. So it automatically you migrate to that panel, like, okay, I want to go to that panel. And the same thing when go to a con, you're like, okay, do I want to go to a, whatever they're going to talk about, and you got to get in line, or whatever the process that specific con is going to be running for you to get in, is you got to get into that. I mean,
you might have to wait in line.
Yep.
Like if you really wanted to see the High School Musical panel, you might have to wait in line a little bit.
Yeah,
but
probably not very long.
If you're nerds like me, you're gonna find, like, I remember when they were redeveloping California Adventure, it was getting this extreme makeover. There was an amazing panel all about Buena Vista Street, and I mean, I was already excited about it.
Right.
But my wife, who is not necessarily a nerd like I am about this kind of stuff, but she's kind of, okay, fine, that's cool. I took her to a D23 panel, and I didn't really tell her what it was. Well, it was about, all it said was, it's a panel about Disney on Broadway. I'm like, we're gonna want to be in here. Turned out to be an hour-long concert with like all the main voice talent from like every Disney Broadway musical you could think of. It was hosted by, I think, Ashley Greene is her name, who was like the original Mary Poppins on Broadway.
Oh my gosh!
And it's like, how did they just set this up? And like, you have no idea what's going to go on there, right?
Yeah.
So like, there's really cool things there. But the parks panel.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where they announced Galaxy's Edge. That's where they announced Pandora. They've everything huge. So the speculation is, what the hell are they going to announce this year?
Yeah,
exactly.
And so let's delve into that a little bit. So I think in years past, would it be fair to say that like Walt Disney World gets the biggest slice of the pie?
You know what? It always feels that way, and I always hear that, but I don't necessarily buy it. I don't know. It's almost like a sibling rivalry where it always feels that way. But to be honest,
the big brother,
they say the same thing about us.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've heard both, but they don't have Cars Land. We got Cars Land announced at this thing, so there's things.
Sure.
They don't have Mission Breakout. Sure, they have Cosmic Rewind, but
right.
But they have Tower of Terror.
So for the past, I don't know, I would say the past few, maybe even 4 or 3 parks panels, I've been like crossing my fingers for Tomorrowland.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it's crickets.
No,
Every
I agree.
time I go to think it's crickets.
Which is going to lead me to the next question. Okay, go ahead, Rudy.
Well, no, and no, I'm right there with you because
I'm used to hoping for Tomorrowland something.
Right? Yeah.
And
right.
I'm also used to hearing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Like you get to that point, I'm like, okay, this is the year we're gonna get.
This is the year.
Some inkling, some little bit of like a tidbit, like, hey, we're gonna redo that, and everything like exactly. It's like, and wow, Dead make more noise than what we're getting out of there, because we don't get anything out of Tomorrowland. And when we started this podcast, and it is the same thing. I've been like, we have T-shirts that say "Make Tomorrowland Great Again" because we want something like as kids. For me, as a kid, Tomorrowland is where I wanted to be. I mean,
it's where all the action was, all the nightlife. And
yeah. I mean,
Far Cry right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like you had the bands playing, there would be music going. You had, PeopleMovers.
But the West Side is the best side right now for nighttime.
Well, right
100%.
now, yeah. Well, right now, but but back then, you think about it. Growing up, it was not that way. Like we always migrated that way, and now. Yeah. It's been like, I don't know. I don't even know how to put it. Like a dystopian nightmare. Like there's nothing here.
No.
Like we go in, you do space, you hit Star Tours on the way out or whatever, and you're out.
You're out.
And you're out.
Yeah.
Okay. Just real quick though, before we get to that, what do you want them to announce for the parks before? Of everything for Disneyland and
to be honest,
yes,
I would really like to hear a lot more about Disneyland Forward.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because, that's the expansion that they talked about that would kind of like, it's not big enough to be a third park.
Yeah.
However, it's like each park that's there now has an expansion that's like a half park. So those together is almost like the size of a third park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's really fascinating, even if they don't spill the beans on what they're building, because I don't think they know yet.
No.
But just the concept of, DCA will expand this way, Disneyland will expand this way. They will meet where the former AMC and ESPN is.
Yep.
You know, like
Yep.
so. Really weird that there's going to be a second entrance right there, right?
Yeah,
It's
right.
really like mind blowing the way they're talking about this new loop. Have you seen how that map?
Oh
is?
yeah. We talked about it
Crazy.
we talked about it when they first announced it, and
I
we're
think
kind of like
we had-
holy crap!
We had you on, I think, for that topic.
I think we talked about it.
You
Didn't we
might have.
because
Because I
I'd like to
saw,
talk about it.
because I remember seeing concept art, and I go concept art for,
Yeah,
for like new parks.
yeah, we gotta get- we gotta
Why
get
didn't
Sam on,
Sam
yeah.
draw this? And number two, he's got to know something about this.
Yeah. No. You know what? I had completely forgotten about that program because what have we heard after that? Like I remember thinking.
Well, it's just zoning for the most part, right?
Well,
so
yeah.
they threw together some concept art,
Mm-hmm.
but if you zoom in, you could clearly see that's Wakanda. You know,
Indeed.
oh yeah.
this
and
is
the-
Pandora.
yeah.
This is all these different things.
Yeah.
So here's what's really interesting, though. Like, what I'm guessing is because I don't think they're going to expand on the theme of California for that expansion, right? And I don't necessarily think that the expansion on the Disneyland side is really going to like relate to back to Disneyland either.
Yeah.
I think both expansion pads are going to relate to each other in some way. And I
Okay,
just want
I
to
get
hear
you.
like overall concepts of like, this is roughly what we're thinking of, but that's probably what they're not going to talk about because it's literally just about zoning at this point. and
Right.
City stuff. But I'd like to hear that, but that's like my pie in the sky.
That would be great.
Of course, Tomorrowland.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know, I think I would have liked before they announced Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yes.
I would have liked to see like a Fantasyland expansion kind of head out back that way.
yes.
And I
Yeah.
think that would kind of tie into like the motorboat lagoon and the sub lagoon. And obviously you can't decide on Tomorrowland until you figure out, well, is there a Fantasyland expansion that's going to eat up some of Tomorrowland?
right.
right.
That's the kind of like high level stuff I like thinking about, but I have no idea. I would like to hear Paint the Nights coming back.
I was going to ask you because you are a parade guy. I do
I
know
am.
this, and I was going to ask you: do you think they're going to announce that the
Well,
paint? The
I don't
Night?
know for sure, but first of all, Magic Happens needs to come back because that only had a 2-week run before the shutdown.
Well, you were involved in that, right?
Well, just from the curb, I didn't watch it, but I watched it. But I'm friends, and I have some family that work parades still,
Okay.
so I
Right.
hear a lot.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, Magic Happens was super cool, and you work your butt off for years designing a parade and casting a parade and rehearsing a parade, and you open and it shuts down and you don't even talk about it anymore. Like it's just bizarre that these floats are just covered and will we see this again? So I hope Magic Happens. There's some kind of announcement. I hope Paint the Night. There's a rumor that people think that Electrical Parade is going to get sent to Florida.
I heard that.
Yeah, I've heard that
So
too.
it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes back and forth. So
It does,
maybe-
right?
And if it does, cool. Hopefully that means we get Paint the Night. So I do think, though, if Paint the Night comes back, I really think it belongs at California Adventure.
It did run out there for a little
It
bit.
ran
right?
in both.
Okay,
Yeah,
you-
it's
you
ran
know-
in Disneyland and it's ran in California Adventure. But if you look at every unit in Paint the Night, there's an attraction in DCA for every unit in Paint the Night.
Is that
So it's
true?
kinda like-
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So it's like, well, it's a DCA parade. So yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, you know that is not being a parade guy, but I think I've been saying it for a while. Like, if they're not going to do that, then maybe a new one. Like, where are we at? I mean, they already announced that electric is gone for
this year.
for I don't know how long in Disney proper. And one of our good friends of the show went on her trip. 13
Yeah.
went crazy buying merch it's
Yeah.
gone, and then I think you and I, Mark, made the joke of well, for how long, 2 years, maybe
It's
a year?
glowing away for 2022.
glowing away.
All right.
yeah.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing with that.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten to the point with Electrical Parade that it's not just a parade anymore. It's
No.
it's a Disneyland attraction.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think we should always expect for it to come and go as it pleases, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
I agree.
And I haven't seen them make the hoopla that they did back in 1996. I feel old.
I remember that.
But in
No, I
96,
remember
it
that.
was, no, this is glowing away forever,
Yep,
right?
I remember
and they made a
that.
big deal about it.
And
then it was only 3 years later, it showed up at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And and I know people get ticked off because they're like, I bought a light bulb for
Yeah.
$15.
That's right.
They
They
said
were
it's going away
selling
forever.
parts. Yeah, that's right. They were
Like,
selling light
first of
bulbs.
all, that was for charity. thank you very much.
Yeah.
And those light bulbs, like they replace them often throughout a season. Like they
Right.
burn out, right? So like the light bulbs were being sent out before the parade even ended, and people are like, "Oh, this is fake." No, that light bulb was. I saw them taking them off the float. Their actual use, but like people were upset that it was coming back because of the marketing. You know what I mean? The marketing,
Yeah.
people came in like crazy to see it go away. But ever since it came back, because then it came back to Disneyland in 2001,
Mm-hmm.
they pressed the panic button for DCA because nobody was coming to DCA. So they, to help get people in the park, they brought it back, and guess what? DCA was packed at night.
It worked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's 2001. But yeah, they haven't made the big mistake of saying it's going to go away forever again. They will say it's like for a limited time run.
Yes.
Right.
You know, I think it's just people kind of groan when they hear, "Oh, it's coming back." But I'm like, I love Electrical Parade, and I know not people don't love it like I love it. I mean, I've driven every single float in that parade. Like I've worked with it for like what feels like decades. So of course I feel like it's a family.
Sure.
member.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely
Just
attached
chicken
to
wing
it.
on Christmas lights, right? But like, I really dig it. I think it's classic, and I do feel like it's more of an attraction than a parade. But
I
Yeah.
agree.
I
People
know.
Park.
Yeah. No, I agree. And for me, I think I made the comment before on the show that for me, the only parade, not being a parade guy, the only parade that I will ever only remember is that one. You know, growing up,
iconic.
with a kid, the music, everything, like that was the parade. You know, and even as a I don't even think I can process another parade like growing up or anything like that. It was that. That was it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well,
and-
what I like about it is it has all the nostalgia. It has like, you know, it takes you back. I remember watching it as a kid. I love taking my kids to go watch it. So like they love it too. But like I think they should keep Electrical Parade feeling old school and
yeah.
Christmas lights and go back to the old music. They tried to fix the music and make it feel
Yeah,
more
no.
poppy.
Yeah,
Like like Electrical Parade should sound like it's being played on a record player.
Yep. Yep.
So
I
keep
agree.
that
Yeah.
nostalgia vibe going to it, but fix up Paint the Night and have the modern thing. And if you could do a summer at Disneyland that has Electrical Parade on Main Street and Paint the Night at California Adventure, how cool to do like a then and now, like have the old school stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then you could go to DCA and see like the new one and go, oh my God, they're both cool for different reasons.
Yeah. That would again.
That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm
but
down.
I don't
Yeah.
know if we could cast that.
I'm down.
They have a hard time casting one parade.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know, the funny part is like that. I would do that. You know, for one time, I would actually do that because again, like parades are always my point to go get on an attraction. You know, I'm going to go
Yeah, I
over
don't
there
blame
because
you.
everybody's over there. But you know, that would be cool to kind of have an evening of being able to kind of touch both ends of the spectrum. Like here's our past, me growing up, and then here's where we are now. But you know, I go back to that. I'm like, what about something new? For whatever reason now, more and more, I've been like, we need new things. I mean, going back and looking back in the past is always great. I like looking at, but aren't we at? I feel like we're at a weird point where we need to begin to like, and maybe this is with Tomorrowland and waiting
Yeah.
for so long. We're like, we need something new. Like, why don't we
I still feel
revive
Paint the
everything?
Night has that newness to it.
Oh,
Like
it
I don't
does.
think it was here long enough.
Yeah, how
to-
long was it around? I don't even know.
I think only 2 summers.
Okay, see, that is nothing, really. In
the grand scheme of Electrical
yeah,
Parade,
exactly.
you know,
Right.
You know,
Right.
not every year. It wasn't around every year, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we had. Let me see. So those are your predictions for what you think they're going to announce. Yeah, I don't know.
it's more about what I want.
Yeah.
As
What I
a-
want
yeah,
to
of
hear.
what you
I wanna hear.
want.
I don't think they're going to talk about Disneyland Forward. I want them to.
That would
I
be
want to hear about.
The treehouse, right?
I want to hear about the treehouse.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I want to hear about Splash Mountain. I want to see some really cool animatronic that's going
Thank
in
you.
there.
Exactly.
For
Me
sure.
Too. Me too. I can't wait to see what they got. I mean,
too.
they unveiled the name and a little bit more of the conceptual art. Not really conceptual art. It was just kind of general art for it. And I'm like, okay, I'm on board. Like,
Well, they even
but give me
showed
more.
last time they mentioned it again with like the name of it, but they
Yeah.
showed old concept art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they did make it clear that what they did announce was they said that the ride will take place after what
Right.
happened in the movie.
Yeah.
And that to be honest, bums me out because
Oh,
I'm
really?
like, I really like Dr. Facilier, and I want Dr. Facilier to be in like where Splash Mountain gets dark and it goes down into like that that little roller coaster section, and when the log gets up going up the lift before the big drop, I could just picture boom 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 boom.
Yeah.
Like I can picture that, like it's begging for it.
Yeah.
But if he's not going to be in it, we'll see. I mean, I'm like, well, why? First of all, why isn't he going to be in it? Like, why are they so adamant about making sure that it's after? Because I don't think that's necessarily.
Well,
I want to be sold on that. Like,
Sure.
talk about why it's a Mardi Gras party that the alligator is making food for. Like,
Yeah.
come, seriously?
well,
But like,
you want to know what's
why?
funny? You know what's funny is like I have the exact opposite point of view, and I made the comment like before they made that announcement. I'm like, man, you know what? I hope we don't get like a rehash of the movie, and I want like, okay, either tell me something new. For me, I'm like, give me a new story, and then they announce like this is what we're gonna do, and for me, I'm like, oh, cool. But
well,
then,
did you do Frozen at Epcot? Because they do that.
I don't do anything Frozen.
Well, you do Frozen.
But
You do
that's
Frozen,
exactly
Jack
what they
and
did to the
Coke.
ride.
Huh?
For Maelstrom, when they redid Maelstrom,
Right.
they did Frozen.
Okay, right.
It's not a retelling of the ride. However, they're singing every song from the movie,
Right.
but the lyrics are different.
Oh, okay.
Except for Let It Go. I think Let It Go is the same for some reason.
Well,
but then, like,
that is a big one.
Olaf would be singing something about when they show up. So it's all like tunes that but they change all the words. So if it's a formula, it'll probably be, You're Almost There and all the different songs, Going Down to Bayou. There's some really cool music from Randy Newman. So, I mean, I'm just curious. So I like to see some really neat cutting edge animatronics for that. Oh,
Yeah.
For Tokyo, I really think we should see some new stuff for the Fantasy Springs
Oh,
element.
that looks
Oh, yeah.
gorgeous. I can't believe what I'm seeing in there.
It looks amazing. It
Yeah.
actually looks kind of like what they were drawn up for Disneyland Forward.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
It's almost like the same caliber of stuff. So, I mean, we don't know when that's going to happen, and it'd be nice to kind of have those dates.
Yeah.
But it might be something like that. But speaking of another tangent, so if you've seen the layout for Fantasy Springs at Tokyo,
Yeah, I have.
it's technically an expansion of Disney Sea, right?
Yep.
You have an Arabian coast area, and then you kind of go outside their berm, and now there's this huge chunk of area that's kind of like its own half park, right? So it has like the Tangled area, a Neverland area, I think a Frozen area, and they have a huge hotel there too. But what drives me crazy is it backs right up against Fantasyland at Tokyo Disneyland, and I don't know why they didn't connect it. Why isn't there a path? Like even if you stay at the hotel,
Yeah.
does that hotel have a path into Tokyo Disneyland? Because it's basically inside the Disney Sea expansion. So I don't know. It's more about the logistics is what I like. Hearing these weird things that they're able to do with operations. I'm fascinated by that.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. But what's great is that they are out there cutting your teeth on that version of in Tokyo, and so hopefully they can bring that here to Anaheim.
That'd be so awesome.
It's-
Yeah, hopefully they don't have some rule like you can't copy it until 10 years or something.
Oh, that'd be bad.
Sometimes they do that,
That
right?
would be lame.
They do that.
Man, and you keep on bringing up Disney Forward, and now for whatever reason, I had to put that in the back of my mind. I'd forgotten about that, but now the more you talk about it, the more I'm sitting here going, please give me something because that I'm waiting now. I really want to know.
That's basically our third park.
Yeah,
It's that level, and even though we don't have that third gate, trust me, we're gonna pay for it like it was our third gate.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
This isn't free.
Yeah.
Like they built Galaxy's Edge. They're not paying for that. We're gonna pay for that every day with
Yeah.
not just with Ronto wraps, but like the prices are gonna go up.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So let's talk about this elephant in the room with Tomorrowland sort of thing. I'm not sure if it's an elephant in the room. It's
It's a never-ending saga of when are they going to do something with it?
Yeah.
The People Mover track has been abandoned for 20 years.
20 years.
It's been 2 decades.
Yeah.
I don't want to look back. I'm bad at math, but has it been closed more than it's been open? When that kind of stuff happens, it just drives me crazy.
No, I agree, and the fact that they haven't done a thing with it, and they leave it up there.
They hang banners from it.
Well, I know, but they leave
There's
it.
too many banners.
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
Take those down.
They leave it up there, and
Every
you're
5
like,
feet.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but they leave it up there, and it feels like an awful like game that they play with you.
They just
like
taunt you with
yeah,
it.
yeah. Like we're gonna taunt you with this for 1 year, 2 years, and like okay, you're gonna put something on there. You're gonna do something with it, and here we are. You know,
Yep.
20
Okay.
years later.
Well, there's going to be a lot of elephants in the room with this. The first
yeah.
elephant is named Star Tours.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You have a ride based on Star Wars, which you now have a land for.
It needs to go away.
And I'm a big believer that put the right toys in the right toy box.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, Splash Mountain might be a bad example, but imagine if, like, behind Toontown, there was a Song of the South landing.
Yeah, right.
But you already have Splash Mountain over here.
Yep.
So something's got to close,
Yep.
and it's not the new thing. So that's the first elephant, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Agreed.
Where do I go with this? So basically, Star Tours, it should probably go.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
But,
wait a minute. No, wait a minute. I can sort of guide you where to go. When we talked like last year about this, you were like, let's level the whole place. Let's start.
I've evolved.
So you've evolved. So how about you take us there right now? What
All
has
right.
There we go.
What have
Let
you?
me channel my angry Tomorrowland thoughts. So basically, I used to think that, you know what, Space Mountain's been great. And in fact, I was working there when they opened Tomorrowland 98. In fact, I was entertainment, but I picked up a lot of shifts as a media host. So I got to ride rocket rods probably 24 times, right?
Wow.
So I love it. I really enjoyed rocket rods because I never waited in line for it.
Yeah.
And that's when they still popped wheelies.
Yeah,
So when
yeah.
people crap on rocket rods, I'm like, what are you talking about? Rocket rods was amazing. It took a 16-minute People Mover track ride down to 4 minutes. Like, you hauled. Yeah, there was a lot of breaks and it stopped, and operationally that's why it went away, right? But I do have a fondness for rocket rods and the kinetic energy that it kind of had with the new land. It was a fun energy, but
Yeah.
that closed in 2000, I think. And now we have an empty track that was left in Tomorrowland. You have an observatron where the rockets used to be that is defunct. It doesn't even spin anymore. That's supposed to be this really cool eye candy laser thing that never happened. You had Interventions that, man, like, I was bored walking through Interventions at Epcot, and then I heard that we're getting it here. I'm like, why? Why would we get that here? You had Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, which was already dated by the time we got it. So anyway, like, there's a lot of issues with Tomorrowland 98. And so, 2 decades later, I'm like, just level it, start over. Some of those buildings are, I'm not even joking, they're from 1955. Like the Buzz Lightyear and Star Tours, there's sections of it that are just ancient relics. So I think about that, I'm like, just level it. But then I don't know what gave me a change of heart. But being in Tomorrowland, I think the Astro Orbiter is really beautiful. Like, I think it's eye candy. I mean, we were in shock when it was so close to the hub and like, oh, it's too big and whatever, and everyone's upset that it's not up high anymore. I've grown to love the Astro Orbiter. I think it's awesome where it is. I do think, though, there's a lot of Tomorrowland that is still worth saving. I think if it's structurally sound, you could put another more thrilling rocket jet type spinner. Maybe it's like, if you remember Knott's XK1 or some kind of cool backpack jet thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's up high. You can do something really cool with that.
Yeah.
You could if you bring some form of the People Mover back, obviously space is pretty awesome. Like, the big thing, though, is like, okay, the Carousel of Progress, America Sings building.
Yeah, that building.
It's ever since, I mean, you could say ever since Carousel of Progress, but I enjoyed America Sings as a kid.
I did too.
I did too, yeah.
Yep.
But then I remember when America Sings closed and they moved all those critters to Splash Mountain, and that building set another thing humongous sitting defunct in Tomorrowland in plain sight for decades. I think they got to either figure out, knock that building down and figure out something else to do with it, because it's obviously a big space, but
Yeah.
the placement of it, it kind of acts as a berm to the park.
Yeah.
If you take that out, well, you're going to see basically all the hotels on Harbor Boulevard.
Yeah, you will.
You need something big there. When I nerd out about this stuff, sometimes I try to like describe what I'm looking at, but
Yeah.
luckily I'm an artist, so I'm able to kind of draw it out too. So I've drawn different things of what I would want. And I'm like, I have one version of Tomorrowland I drew where I actually parked the Axiom there. That's a huge ship from WALL-E.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a cruise ship.
Yeah.
It's also a big spaceship. And it'd be kind of cool to make it look like a big Axiom parked right there. And what I would like to see happen was a new version of Horizons from Epcot, but with a WALL-E theme. So something like that, like a really long people eater type vibe.
Yeah.
That was one idea I had a long time ago, but people talk about Tron.
Yeah.
People say, oh, well, we got to get Tron here.
It's too. Yeah.
The box. We don't want that box in our skyline, right? Like, Florida gets to hide it a little bit, right? Because it's behind Space Mountain, and this box would be as big as the Matterhorn. Like, you really want this Hyperion-sized box where the Autopia is? That's nasty. You don't want that. But what I would like to do is, I really like the look of obviously Tron, but the look of that canopy that's in the front of the Tron ride.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind seeing a new version of Tron that just whips you around the whole land. Like, what can we do to have that thing zip around, a little bit over the Utopia, but have it go everywhere and have that canopy over the actual Tomorrowland itself? Some kind of new version of that would be really cool. And even if you had to, you could have like the load area be where the Carousel of Progress building is, right? You could have inside sections too. So anyway, I think with like, there's quality to what's there, and knowing who's in charge of it now, I can't say I have 100% faith that if you were to knock it down, the money that would be spent might be wasted on infrastructure and not awesome attractions. So if it's not fixed, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, well, what's really broken? Because I don't think the Astro Orbiter's broken. I'm over Buzz Lightyear, but you could switch that out to Stitch Ride or something, I don't hit another tangent. I don't think the Disneyland Resort needs two Toy Story rides that are both shoot-up rides.
Agreed.
That's a good point.
And why is the modern one not in Tomorrowland? Why is the futuristic one not even in Tomorrowland? It's in the Paradise Pier area.
Yeah.
So,
That's a great point. I never thought about that.
Yep.
and I like Stitch, so I think you could do like a cool Stitch version of Astro Blasters. But bring the People Mover back, add some kind of zippy Tron thing that goes around the line, around the land. You got subs. The Nemo subs are great.
Yeah.
Utopia, I don't get Utopia. I don't like it.
Me
but
either.
If the subs are there, there's an hour-long line. People love it. Yeah. But like, if the subs are there, well, you got to put something on top of it, and it can't be heavy. So it's the People Mover. Fine. I'm just curious about the Motorboat Lagoon area, and if that's going to kind of get eaten up by Fantasyland. But then you have the monorail track. So who knows? And part of the People Mover rumor is that it would, when it comes out of the Carousel of Progress building, it kind of goes down a bit and then connects where the monorail track is. So it's not going to go zip around back there.
Yeah.
It would be a shorter route, which is fine. Whatever you got to do, just bring it back.
So you would be okay with a shorter version of...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, but
we need kinetic movement.
We
and
do.
Beggars can't be choosers.
No, but I thought...
12 minutes instead of 16 minutes, that's still fine.
But I always thought the really cool part of People Mover was when it was merging with Autopia.
You just like it back there because there's no cameras.
That's true. Very true. Yes, it's true. No, I just think it's cool back
time
there.
To feel alive.
Yeah. And then... Yeah, I'm on board with you with People Mover. If we get some version of it back, even if it's a condensed version, I think it's cool.
It's very cool. And if you could put something on top of that where the Observatron was, like another spinner ride, and People Mover's back, I mean, you've kind of fixed. Just don't let the land feel dead.
No.
Do you remember back in the day when before Magic Journeys and the Magic Eye Theater, it was an outdoor theater in front of Space Mountain?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I was a kid, but I knew, I was old enough to know this place is awesome.
Yeah.
Sure. Yep.
Right? They had like really cool bands play, and it was just, there's a restaurant there, and this is going on, and the rockets are up there spinning. It was like a really cool place that you wanted to spend time.
Yeah.
I wish they would open air that theater again.
Oh yeah,
that's just it's an indoor theater that's nothing's even playing there anymore.
No. Wow. High School Musical. You want to go to that reference again? I think that was playing their last, wasn't it?
Well,
yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I agree. I think one of the things that maybe definitely attracted me as a kid to Tomorrowland was all the kinetic things you had going on.
Everything's moving.
Yeah.
There's levels of it. You have
Yeah.
the Skyway,
Yeah.
the Monorail,
Yeah.
the People Mover,
Yeah.
the Utopia,
Yeah.
and even the submarines. Like,
Yeah. And then
you had 6 layers of movement.
yeah, and then you had the music playing, you had all the neon lights going, you had all these things moving that just pulled like a moth to the flame. You're like, oh man, what's going on? Like you'd hear everything, and you'd hear everything going on. You're like, I want to go over there, and that is all gone. And if they brought those elements back, you would. I don't see why. I mean, that isn't like a timely thing. It's just a general thing. Like you have all the movement and all the light and the music and the sound and everything going. People are going to come to check it out.
What do you think is? Well, if Star Tours did go away, and I don't think it will, I think it's going to hang out.
I think it needs to though. To be real,
definitely
like
needs
to what? To go.
it
Or
needs to go away.
Oh, sure.
I think the ride system is great, and could say if we didn't get Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, and if we didn't have a Marvel area already, I would love to see Guardians of the Galaxy in Tomorrowland. That's perfect for some space, and that could have used Star Tours.
That is another full discussion. Oh my goodness! Wow.
I never thought about that.
I don't know. I hadn't either, but my initial knee jerk is like, no. My knee jerk is no.
Why not? It's an adventure in space.
Well,
they've been hoping for a big IP for that.
But my thought has always been the opposite. Okay, here's been my thought. Like, why wouldn't you take the ride vehicle and everything that happens with Star Tours and move it over to DCA and make it like the Iron Man ride? Make it more of that.
Did I ever tell you my dumb dad joke about that?
I don't think so.
I would call it Stark Tours. I would love that.
No, you see, and to me,
that'd be great.
Hey,
I'm on board with that.
Yeah, and see, that's where I've been like, move that out, and then let's bring.
Take it a step further. It'd be really cool because maybe that's one thing that they could announce too, because they'll announce it again. Last D23, they announced a major e-ticket coming to Avengers Campus.
Yeah.
Right.
Got shelved. Not happening, right?
Yeah.
Can they announce that that's coming back? I mean, it's just kind of like the Mary Poppins ride they announced for Epcot. They dragged out 90-plus-year-old Dick Van Dyke to announce
and then they killed it.
Right?
Yeah.
And that got canceled.
Yeah.
So, but it would be kind of neat, too. Speaking of your idea of moving Star Tours to Avengers Campus, I'd like to see some kind of cool e-ticket, but use the Star Tours simulators as the pre-show.
Yeah.
So, say it's a Wakanda ride.
Yep.
Well, you're going to get on Stark Tours to go to Wakanda, and then that's the big ride.
I
wouldn't mind seeing it.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I love that.
I mean,
let's do it.
And you think about how many people would migrate over. I mean, I would 100% be like, what are we doing? Stark Tours? Done. Is there a T-shirt? I would buy that. Like, let me go do that because
because they have it in Hong Kong, right? It's not called Stark Tours.
No.
They have the Iron Man ride, right?
Yeah, right.
And that's neat too, because that kind of blows outside the berm because they actually fly to Hong Kong in it, so we can't get a copy of that,
right?
Because they're traveling around Hong Kong. It's very for the city over there. But I couldn't imagine if we flew to downtown LA, or that'd be kind of weird. But maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it'd have to be like where would you go with that? But it's still
Wakanda.
Well, yeah. No, and that would be great because everybody would tie into it. I know I would have a storyline that we could buy into, and then even and then you could even do multiple they have now for Star Tours.
Because Spider-Man's not cutting it.
No, it really isn't. Like I wrote
it's not an attraction that can carry a land.
No.
And luckily they have Mission Breakout, which was already premiered years earlier.
Right.
But Mission Breakout's kind of carrying the campus.
No doubt, without a doubt.
Not just Avengers Campus needs this, but DCA needs this e-ticket big. DCA needs its Rise of Resistance.
Yeah.
Minus all the downtime and issues, but they need a heavy e-ticket.
You're right.
Marvel movies are the biggest thing in entertainment, and they have been for years and probably will be for years to come. Where is that Marvel Rise of distance level attraction.
Yeah, no, that is a great question, and
Yeah.
they need to. I remember. I mean, my God, what like a year or two ago talking about that. What could they do? I mean, I remember what we heard that they had
You mean for
ordered.
Adventures Campus?
No, yeah, and we
Oh.
talked about it like they ordered a few different coaster type units, and then we're like, okay. There's a rumored Captain America ride, like we talked about.
The
that,
motorcycles, right?
Yeah,
exactly,
the motorcycles,
exactly.
right.
So to me, like
Based on the Tron engine, yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
and that's why I was talking like
Pony
you're-
Express at Knott's Berry Farm. By the way.
Oh, dude, you love that. I'm glad you brought that up. I was thinking about that the other day. The Pony Express and the
It's
soapbox.
super short.
And the
I know
soapbox
it's like
racers. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, of course.
See,
It's my
'Cause-
favorite.
yeah, dude, where are those things? Okay, now I'm getting all crazy.
In
thinking
a
about-
in a dumpster somewhere. It's so bad.
Shoot.
Yeah, but going back to it, like I made that comment like it would be fantastic if they added that, and then and instead of it being like a Tron, the Tron cycles, we could move that over. And in my mind, I'd already built like they could go here, they could eliminate the parking area, and all these different things to connect that, and I want to hear that. Like that would be great to hear. Like where is the e-ticket? Because being on Adventure Campus, I think most people who go there, even being a huge Marvel fan like I am, you go there and you're like, okay, this is kind of cool. The coolest thing that I did was like, okay, I'm just going to ride Mission Breakout again because that is amazing.
Or get a big pretzel.
Right. Well, and then what?
Yeah, right.
All I did was I went there and I went to the Sanctorum at night because it is gorgeous.
Oh, it's awesome.
I mean,
Yeah. Doctor Strange is a really cool character.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that there is concepts being drawn out to make Tower of Terror converted to Doctor Strange instead of Guardians?
that would have been amazing.
Really?
Even though I'm really happy with what they did.
It
No,
would have been in Sanctorum.
yeah.
Oh.
When you look at okay,
I could totally see
no,
that.
no. Have you seen Into Madness or whatever the second one is?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay, Mark, you haven't.
Awesome.
I mean, I loved it. And
Is it on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Okay,
you
I'll
can
check
watch
it out.
it.
I'll check it out.
It's trippy. It's different than any other Marvel movie.
Well,
but it's
all
awesome.
I have to say is Sam Raimi, and then that should tell you everything you need to
Okay.
know, right?
Yep.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I heard Sam Raimi's directing. My mind just went boom, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't.
Sam Raimi
wait.
and Doctor Strange. Are you serious?
All right. Okay, I just gotta say, Zombie Strange. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That character, I'm like, when that happened, I don't even know. I went like
Spoiler
bananas.
alert.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I went bananas. I'm like, no, they're not gonna do that. And then I'm like, wait, Sam Raimi, of course they're gonna do that. And then they went there, and I'm like, oh man. Anyway, now I want to go home and watch it. But anyway, that would be great if they would have done that, and then a Sanctorum, and then went into that, and then have a storyline with Doctor Strange.
Yep.
Holy crap, that would have been
The only thing that really
fantastic.
dictated it was the calendar of the release dates. Like, okay, well, what's coming out in
Yeah.
a year? Guardians. All right, well, let's make it Guardians.
Sure.
It's like, what should we retheme the California Scream into? Well, Incredibles was coming out. All right, well, let's retheme it to Incredible.
Yeah.
It dictates everything.
Yeah,
But the good news with that, though, I have to say,
Yeah.
Marvel knows how to set aside money, their marketing money, for the theme parks.
Mhm.
So, like, if it's the costume characters, like every time there's a new episode of Loki, he was there that day.
Yeah, that
Right? They
day.
did a really
yeah.
good job about making sure that those characters are up to date from Disney Plus. Like, they've never done that. And it took Star Wars how long to follow the same formula? like-
If they even are now,
They Boba
they did
Fett
with Boba Fett
I
and
forget her
Fennec.
name.
Fennec.
Fennec Shan.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
like, I love that. Right. So
Well,
like,
no, but that's a different thing because they had the brilliant idea of time locking the land. I'm like, no, that was dumb. Or no,
okay, good. I was
mean-
worried. I was like, are you being sarcastic?
No,
I
no,
hope
no,
you
no,
are.
no, no. And the other thing
The
is
only
like,
people that like that are the people that worked on it. I
well,
haven't heard
exactly.
anybody else that thinks that's
No,
a good
no,
idea.
and I made the comment like I've made the comment, and I will firmly hold on to this till the day I'm dead. Is like, if they were gonna time lock it, fine, do the right time. You did the wrong time.
100%.
OT have replace
yeah.
Kylo with Vader.
Oh, okay.
And replace.
Last time I rode Rise of the Resistance, I was thinking about that every step of the way. I'm like, all right, that can stay. That could stay. All right, Kylo. If Kylo was Darth.
Yep.
Oh my God.
You think of
This
okay.
ride is just all of a sudden got even better.
Your head just explodes. Like the moments with Darth Vader coming through, like you replace Kylo Ren, every scene with Kylo Ren with Darth Vader. Oh my God, I'm crying.
Yeah,
I would
but
be
You know what I'd
crying
kind of rather
every...
do though? I don't. If there's a Star Wars land, I think there should be a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And I think something should be the sequel trilogy. And like, fine, that's already there. But if there's a Millennium Falcon ride, that has to be OT.
Han. Yeah, that has to be Han.
But we get
I
Hondo.
don't care.
But we get Hondo.
No.
No, get him out.
I want
Yeah, get
Han.
him. Yeah, but
I
why
want
is Hondo
Han.
there though?
No, you could get rid of
You switch
Han.
it out to a different character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not him anymore.
No, yeah, you put somebody
It's
else.
Lando now.
Yeah,
Sure.
Lando would be perfect.
Absolutely perfect.
That would be perfect. Like that is brilliant. Like
See, this is why Sam does what he does.
No. The funny part is like how often. Okay, Sam. I gotta ask a question.
Ooh.
This
is a deep
walking
question.
through Rise of or walking through Galaxy's Edge. How many times have you gone like exactly like you were just talking about? Well, if they change that to OT, could be OT. This could be original trilogy. That could be original.
Rather than switching it to OT, I think, can we switch this to Tatooine? How can this be
Same thing.
How can this be Jabba's palace?
that would have been better.
Because the whole point of time locking it into those 5 minutes between episodes 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Like first of all, I'm like, well, where's Captain Phasma? I'm sorry, she died at the end of episode 8.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She's actually where she is,
Can't
Sam.
be in this?
She's actually marching around Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland.
Yeah. It drives me insane, so I try not to think about it.
Yeah.
I know, right?
But like the whole point of time locking it was to promote the new Star Wars.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, well, the new Star Wars is Mandalorian. The most successful Star Wars thing you've ever made. Well, maybe not ever, but like lately.
For Disney Star Wars,
for
yes.
Disney, for sure. So here's Mandalorian, and we can't even see Baby Yoda.
Right? And,
I know.
And that is where we got Boba and Fennec, and only because I think they felt like, okay, these characters can span that timeline. Like, I don't care anymore. I think most people, and I go back to when it opened, the land opened, and I remember one of the probably one of the most overwhelming complaints or comments was like, where is Darth Vader? Like,
yeah,
we don't know.
Well,
I mean, a lot of people didn't know.
The funny comment
Rey.
I heard was, "Oh, so it's a Star Wars land, but you didn't get the licensing for any Star Wars character."
Yeah.
I thought you guys bought Star Wars.
Yeah,
Where's Luke?
You paid how many billions for it? Like, where? Yeah.
Yeah. They did get the
But don't
license.
get me wrong. I love Galaxy's Edge. I know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, me too,
I
me
love
too.
Galaxy's Edge. It's one of the coolest areas ever. I love
Yeah.
how it's tucked. To me, like, Star Wars has always been like a dirty space western, so I like that it's on the outskirts of Frontierland. But this is another nerdy tangent.
Go ahead.
I kind of wish Star Wars had the tagline of the final frontier like Star Trek.
Yeah,
Because it's the final Frontierland at that point. It's like just a little bit further in Frontierland.
Oh.
You're in like Galaxy's Edge. So I like that.
Yes.
aspect to it,
Yes.
Right? But yeah, because there was supposed to be these droids walking around. It was supposed to be like basically Ghost Town Alive, like this, LARP going around everywhere. It's all cut. The sad thing is, it's pretty obvious once the Star Cruiser opened up. Well, they put that all behind a paywall. You have to pay to go on the Star Cruiser in Florida to experience all the stuff that was supposed to be part of Galaxy's Edge.
Yep.
So that's in Florida. Fine, you go see your Star Wars hotel.
Yeah.
But California didn't get any of that.
None of it. And we've made the comment quite often, like, for as much as we enjoy Galaxy's Edge and how great and so many different things are there, it has that weird little thing of we're needing one more thing. We need like one more bit of and
his name is Luke Skywalker.
Thank you.
Yes.
Like, we need Luke walking around and not angry, grumpy Luke. I want like Mandalorian redone Luke. I want dark.
Yeah.
I want all black.
It
Luke.
should be the current one that we're trying to plug.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Sure, it'd be great to do like episode 4 Luke, but like at the same time, like the whole point is to promote whatever's on Disney Plus.
Yep.
And if it's
So
Boba Fett,
so give me episode.
Mandalorian.
Give me episode 6, Luke.
Ahsoka better be out there.
Oh my. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this right now.
And Ezra?
No. No. We're not there yet. Don't play with me. Don't play with my emotions.
Or Kanan?
Okay, I will tell you this.
Where are all these people? And like, you could kind of just write it like, first of
all
all,
these people. Yeah.
who's gonna be annoyed that? I mean, I'm not saying that it's gonna be like that ridiculous thing at Hollywood Studios that was like Slave Leia, Padme, and Princess Leia. All these people dancing together at the hoopla, right?
No.
Like,
What?
I
didn't see that.
Yeah, do not Google hyperspace hoopla at Walt Disney World. It's like this ridiculous dance-off that like got bigger and bigger and bigger every year, and
Oh no.
terrible. It's obviously there'd be some character integrity where you would not have
Yeah.
Darth
now I wanna
Vader
Google it.
next to Jar Jar Binks, right? Like you wouldn't mix up these random characters, like.
Right.
But if you have Galaxy's Edge is 14 acres, it's big enough to have.
Yeah.
Okay, this time period's going to be over here. This time period's going to be over here. There's going to be an attraction like the Smuggler's Run is now original trilogy, and it's Kessel Run. It's literally called Kessel Run.
Think about how great that would be.
Oh yeah.
I would love it if it was
And
Kessel
then
Run.
you still have a pad for like a new attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And if that new attraction was something that, I don't know, if you could find something cool in the prequels, I'm not saying pod racing, but like something that's, so then you have each of the main trilogies, there's an attraction for it.
Yep.
But then it's a Star Wars land.
It
Where's
is.
Star Wars?
Yep.
Just make it fun.
Let's make it fun.
It's
Yep.
kind of too serious, right?
Hey Sam.
Yep.
Are you okay with if they were to link Star Wars or Galaxy's Edge to Toontown?
I am the mayor of that idea.
Oh, you
Like,
are the
I am.
mayor of that idea. See, Udi hates it. He hates it, and I bring it up, and he gets all worked up. I'm glad. Here's my high five.
High five, right?
I
There's
hate
a pathway.
every aspect of that.
A path to the Jedi when they knock down Chippendale's treehouse.
See? A path to the Jedi. See, this is why Sam. Because we have these hot takes.
Oh man, no! I hate every aspect of that.
Okay, go ahead, Sam.
There's no reason to hate it.
Convince
Here's
him.
why
All
you
right.
need to like it.
Learn to love
All
it.
right.
You are putting an e-ticket, a very popular e-ticket in Toontown. Toontown is a dead end.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
cannot have all these people flooding through that little pathway under the bridge into Toontown, and then they're done and they're trying to get the other way. You have to have some flow to the park, and just for the park's sake, operationally, and I'm very familiar with backstage. People tell me it can't be done. I call BS. It can be done. You could have a tunnel that goes where the Chippendale's treehouse was and the acorn crawl was, and it's just like a raised hallway. People are like, oh, but there's a pathway that goes to the Fantasyland Theater. I know. That is a road that goes very low under the train tracks.
I love this
could be
stuff.
a pathway
I love this
that goes
stuff.
straight
Yes.
there,
Uh-huh.
and it, ironically enough, you would enter into Galaxy's Edge on these huge bay doors that are there. That in Florida, on Batu East, those same bay
Yeah.
doors are the ones that drop you off from the Galactic Cruiser.
Yeah.
So it's like it makes perfect sense to have it, and you could do a really neat theming thing in there that kind of like, I don't know. They haven't paid me to come up with this, so I'm not going to give them any ideas, but like it can be done. You could have a really cool transition tunnel that goes from Toontown to that. But I think not just because like I think Star Wars needs like a fourth entrance, right? But
Right.
Toontown needs that back entrance exit to like just alleviate crowd nightmare.
Well, the only way that I would kind of be okay with it is transition is everything.
Oh yeah.
So if they can do that, I mean, we've often commented on the fact of how great of a transition from Critter Country into the land
Oh, I
is
love
amazing.
That.
Like
love that.
you have the sound curtain, you walk through, and all
Yeah.
magically within 1 foot, you're like, and now I'm in Batu.
Well,
And-
the only thing that they need to add to that transition is I need to hear some John Williams. And I'm not talking like blast the main score. But if I walked into there and I heard the Princess Leia
Thank you.
theme,
That's what I was gonna say.
I would die. If I heard some soft kind of like
Yep.
hint or a nod to anything that emotionally connects me to Star Wars, I'm like, they did it. And they didn't do anything.
No.
John Williams even wrote a score for Galaxy's Edge.
I know.
And you don't even hear it.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
I've never heard it.
Yeah, he did.
Can you hear it somewhere?
Yeah.
Look it up on YouTube.
Okay.
John Williams, Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, he did.
And like people think like you're gonna hear like dun 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 dun.
No,
dun.
no.
No, get out of here with that.
Yeah.
No, I need to hear like the powerful score of Luke looking at two suns over Tatooine.
Yep.
Like,
no, if I would have walked across, and even now, like going into that land and heard the Leia's theme like softly playing, I probably
people would cry.
Oh no, I would cry.
I teared up when I saw the Millennium Falcon for the first time.
Oh no,
and if I heard the music at the same time,
yeah.
it would have been embarrassing.
Oh, and you know the thing is, I had that same thing, and I remember, I had finally my brother, who is a huge Star Wars fan, just like me. Like we do another podcast together, and the Falcon is like a character. We talk about it on that show, like how the Falcon is a character,
recognizable character in the whole land.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I had the pleasure of in January going with him and his son. And I remember going like, we're gonna lose it, and he didn't, and he didn't lose it. And I fully thought I'd have like a little tear, and I kind of went like after I'm like, dude, I thought you were gonna tear up. He's like, you know what it was? He's like, I was so focused on my son, who is 9, my nephew, and on making sure that he was taking it all in, like he didn't.
It's real to them.
Yeah, and he didn't even have.
It is real.
He didn't even have enough time to like process. Process it for himself. You know what I mean? So he was so wrapped up in letting.
Well, his son will never forget that.
Oh no, he never will. And that is the beauty for me. Like I made the comment to him, like, you know what? When your first trip there, I'm going to be there. I don't know what I need to do, or I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make that happen, but I will be there because, you have that moment of, like, connecting with everything at that level.
Yes.
And exactly, if they would have had anything playing in there that was remotely, connected to that, the emotional level would have been through the roof.
It's oddly absent. So I gotta tell the story. My first time going to Galaxy's Edge, my cousin's a cast member. We're very close. She's like a sister to me, and she's like, "Hey, I got the cast member preview tickets. Of course you're going with me." I'm like, "Yes."
Oh, cool.
So I got to go, and I'm like, I did tear up when I saw the Millennium Falcon, and I realized later it was for 2 reasons. The first reason, it was when my dad passed away, right? And he got me into Star Wars. My first thought was, I'm like, damn, my dad would have loved seeing the Millennium Falcon. Like that, like, wow. And it wasn't when I was in front of it. It was that side view of it. Like if you're up on the raised area.
Yeah.
When I saw that side profile, that perfect, sleek side view, I'm like, oh my God, that's the perfect, this level up here raised is like how many times have I drawn the Millennium Falcon? Like that's it. But then I got emotional again later when I walked up closer to it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the Millennium Falcon from this view since I was playing with the toy, lying down, looking up at it. And I'm like, it's real. And it's spitting smoke out. Like, oh my God. Like, that was heavy duty. And it made all the other faults go away, right? And now that you kind of get numb to it and, like, you see it every trip to Disneyland, you're like, hey, the Millennium Falcon, that's cool. But that first time, you're like, wow. And, kind of looking at Harry Potter and when they did the Wizarding World, people were losing their mind. Why? Because they've always wanted to go to this place, and there's Hogwarts, and there's the music, and I'm walking through this area to get to it. It's everything is you're overstimulated with familiar.
Yeah.
Where if Disney did Star Wars because of Harry Potter, right? It's our version of that kind of immersive land. But they're like, well, let's not do the music, and let's not do the Hogwarts. So the only thing that's similar to a Hogwarts type of visual is the Millennium Falcon, and you have Chewie and R2-D2 walking around there with okay, cool, we're close, guys.
Yeah.
Where's Darth Vader?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Right.
I think they that is a miss by them by not having music.
Sure.
You know, and like we were saying, it doesn't need to be overbearing or loud or anything, but just in the background to play with our memory and enough to get us to emotionally connect a little bit deeper with what they've got going on.
And have a few residents. Like if you want to do like these random vague characters, fine. Have some characters in Oga's Cantina.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wish it was a Mos Eisley Cantina.
That would have been great.
I wish we could go see Jabba the Hutt somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I wish Jabba the Hutt's ship was parked there and we could just kind of explore it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. There's a lot of Star Wars is such a huge universe. Obviously, like how do you do it?
Yeah.
But the fact that you have Tatooine being such an important place in the original trilogy, but episode 4. But then now you have the Book of Boba Fett. Now you have, Mandalorian. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
they're going to go to Tatooine.
Yep.
Why isn't it? That seemed like the most. Maybe it was too obvious, so they wanted to stay away from it. But it's like, no, that was a mistake. Not making it Tatooine. So here, I wanted to mention when you were talking about the transition from I almost call it Bear Country, from the Critter Country side of things.
Yeah.
When they first announced that there was going to be a Star Wars land, but they didn't show it. We didn't know Batuu was a thing yet.
Right.
And I knew roughly where it was going to go. I just kind of thought, I'm like, what would I want to do? And you had a really cool lush forest behind Thunder Mountain. And I'm like, okay, well, that's Endor. You're going to have Endor in the forest of Frontierland in the back.
Yeah.
And you could turn a corner and, well, now we're in Tatooine. It's going to be very deserty. It's very this. Obviously, there's going to be some kind of trees, but you got to make it kind of feel like this is Tatooine. And maybe let's just put Hoth on this side.
Okay.
Where so you have 3 planets, well, the moon and 2 planets, right?
Right.
Nerd. But areas, but you have a main attraction.
Yeah.
That's kind of buried within that. And then if you're building one in Florida too, okay, pick 3 different planets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have what's appropriate to have at Hollywood Studios. I don't know. Is it Naboo? Is it I don't know. It's 3 different ones, but it's the same attraction.
Maybe Coruscant.
Coruscant
totally.
would have been great. Yeah, no, in Hollywood, Coruscant.
Cloud City.
Yeah,
so you
exactly.
could do some really
Bespin,
neat stuff.
Yeah, Bespin.
Oh man, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
So you could do the same rides, but then please give me a reason to go back and forth.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these diehard fans, we go to Disney World just as a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I would have liked to seen that,
I
and then
agree.
that way it's fine. You have your main attraction that works that you could place in both, but I just want to see Endor and where the Big Thunder Ranch area was. I could have really picked that.
Absolutely.
Talk about transition.
Yeah, you're right. Endor would have lent itself perfectly to that area. Do you think we're going to hear any Star Wars Galaxy's Edge news from D23?
I think they might announce when we're going to see Mandalorian and Grogu.
Okay.
I would think so. I mean, they've already said he's coming. So I think it would be a date. First of all, there's no excuse not to have him. I saw a really cool animatronic of Grogu at Comic-Con.
Oh, okay.
That Garner Holt did. If you Google that or YouTube it, check it out. Garner Holt, Grogu. Oh my God.
Okay.
It's the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
Why can I see this at Comic-Con 2 years after the fact?
Right. I don't know.
But he's not on every single map
Yep.
as I go into Disneyland.
Yep.
He could be in Launch Bay. There's no reason not to have it.
Yeah.
Well, Launch Bay, actually, there's 2 other things I want to talk about just real quick. We briefly talked about Avengers Campus before we talked about Galaxy's Edge, but we haven't talked about this much with you at least, but just quickly, what are your thoughts on Avengers Campus? I know you're a big DCA guy.
I am.
You may be the biggest DCA guy.
And here's why I'm a DCA guy. I worked in entertainment and I picked up shifts. Well, I was driving floats and stuff, right?
You were also driving a truck. I think you're also driving a truck around Paradise Bay before we.
That's what I'm saying. So
Okay.
I was there the day they started carving up the parking lot.
Yeah.
I was booking rooms at the Pacific Hotel.
Yes.
Just watching construction every so often. So I have some cool video from the top floor of just different construction trucks digging Paradise Bay up, right? So yeah, I got to drive I don't know, people. They didn't tell me who it was, but I would do laps every other week in a car, in a truck, and I would show people the park being built. And then, being in parades, we were doing Eureka. So we got to rehearse Eureka in a park that was being built. And as we're rehearsing our show, in the daytime, which is unheard of, usually we have to rehearse parades in the middle of the night at Disneyland. But since DCA wasn't open yet, we're able to do it in the daylight. They would someone from Imagineering would come by and going, "Hey, we're testing the Maliboomer. You guys want to ride it?" Or it'll be like, "Hey, we're testing Screamin', or we're testing Soarin', or we're testing this restaurant. You guys want to eat lunch for free? Let's go."
That's awesome.
Today's Pizza Ooh Mau Mau. Tomorrow is Hollywood and Dine. Friday we're gonna eat at Soap Opera Bistro.
Yeah.
Like, all free. And it's in between us. So I love DCA.
Yes.
No. It's
Absolutely.
in my blood, right?
Yep.
But here's the thing. I knew it sucked. I knew DCA 1.0 was not good.
Right.
But I didn't care because I was having a blast.
Yeah.
I was excited that we're finally getting a second park. I saw what they're building at Tokyo Disney Sea. That is 100 times cooler than what we're getting. And it was clear from the Imagineers who were working on it. They knew it was kind of a bust. But by the time DCA 2.0 came around, I was an art director in TDA. So I got to I was one of 2 art directors that did the opening ceremonies for the rededication. So when Cars Land and Buena Vista Street opens up, like I was a part of that. And I love that I got to see the growth. Mm-hmm. Like I know what it was. I know where it lacked. And they definitely DCA today is killer. Like I love it.
Yep, absolutely.
It's a good park, and it's finally worthy enough to be at the doorstep of Disneyland. It was never that before DCA 2.0 came around.
Right.
What was the question?
So that brings us to Adventures Campus and how.
Oh God. All right. Well, I think DCA was perfect at 2012. When they built Buena Vista Street, they had this Hollywood Tower Hotel looming over Carthay. They brought in the backstory of Tower of Terror into Buena Vista Street by showing like the trio singers that are performing at the Tip Top Club at the Tower of Terror, and like it just seemed like a real cohesive land because it was still California, but it was like California in different eras.
Oh yeah,
and you have a Walt Disney themed land at the entrance of this new park, at the doorstep to Disneyland. But I always tell this story too, and I've probably already said it to you guys, so sorry if you have to hear it again. But people say, well, what's the theme of DCA anymore? It's like it's not California. What is it? I'm like, well, the theme of DCA is it's a celebration of the Walt Disney Company, and the icon of DCA is Carthay, and people are like, well, why? Because they showed Snow White there? I'm like, no. Because Walt's biggest gamble of his life was that night, the premiere of Snow White. If that night didn't go well, none of this would be here, not even Disneyland.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It was the biggest gamble of like spending all its money to make an animated full-length feature film. Good thing it was a hit because we got everything else that came afterwards. So that's why Carthay should always be kind of looked at as the castle, and it's not. They'll show, it's the Ferris wheel as the icon, or they used to show Grizzly Peak. Well, back before Carthay. Mm-hmm. Even on the app, they show Mission Breakout as like this big icon. It's like, no. To answer your question, Avengers Campus, I don't mind it being in DCA. I love Marvel. Mm-hmm. If you think of like who's the main character in Marvel is, I would say it's, people might say Spidey, but like it's Iron Man, it's Tony Stark. Well, Tony Stark has a Malibu mansion. Mm-hmm. Guess what? Park called California Adventure. Yeah. He lives in Malibu. Yeah. Fine. I would have liked to see him build that big Randy's Donut.
Oh yeah, totally right.
He chills on that. But Spider-Man is okay. It's not great.
No.
When I heard that it was a Toy Story Midway Mania ride system, I kind of just flipped the table. I'm like, are you serious? Why?
Yeah.
I mean, we already have Midway Mania.
Sure.
But this one is hands-free. I'm like, that stuff is boring walking by in Interventions. and then you're going to base right on it.
Yeah, I know, right?
I just don't think it's good enough to represent like the biggest collection of movies that we've seen in decades. My kid loves it, so is that all that matters? Maybe. I don't know, but like I want to love it too, and I'm just like, it's just sad that the newest ride at DCA. I'm like, do you want to go in it? No.
Right. Yeah.
But I think
love Mission Breakout.
Yeah.
I love how they're keeping it alive with all the characters, even Moon Knight hanging out up top. I love that. I just think that it needs the phase. The phase 2 wasn't a nice to have; it was a must have. Like this land needed that e-ticket. It was supposed to be. You saw the concept art.
Yeah.
It's like Star Tours type ride where you're flying and then the ship explodes around you, and turns out your seats were like rocket jetpacks the whole time, and doing like a Pandora looking kind of like
where did that go?
I don't know where it went.
I don't know. I mean, it's just definitely not happening.
No, but I think Adventures Campus, I think it came at the right time that it needed to come. I mean, if it had opened in 2020 in that summer when it was supposed to, I think it would have been much, much worse. But we were 2 years
starving.
We were starving. Yeah. This is something that I call. I refer to this as the Denny's syndrome, where it's like you're starving, right? And the only thing that's open is Denny's. That's the best. That's going to be the best meal you're going to have. So we don't have the parks for 2 years or so. And then this opens up. Oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. I mean, that's like really what it was.
You are not wrong there. Luckily, because like first of all, I was actually at Comic-Con when they announced Guardians of the Galaxy was taking over Tower of Terror, and I was livid.
Oh, dude, same here.
I was like, and we were drinking when we found out about this. So we were, my whole group were like pissed off. We're like, why are they doing this? I don't get it.
It seems like they should have asked you first, Sam.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. But like but here, fast forward to opening night of Guardians. Luckily, I got invited to the night before, and I got to ride it 6 times. I heard all 6 different songs.
Jeez.
I even got to chat with Joe Rohde because he was there.
Oh wow.
Cool.
And I'm just like, I told him, I'm like, dude, I was so angry when I heard about this, and he kind of just started shaking his head. I'm like, and I know the California Adventure Tower it's not as good as Florida's, which remind me about that. I'm going to come back to it. I've never had this much fun on Tower of Terror. Like, you've made this amazing attraction that I got blindsided with like a goofy smile on my face because it was so fun.
Yep.
So it was a side note. I was talking to this other Imagineer. I'll leave his name out, but he actually worked on both versions of Tower of Terror. And I said something about how DCA doesn't have like the superior version. And he's like, hold on. He's like, DCA has the better attraction if you count breakdowns, if you count how like not just being reliable, but like the ride numbers of how many people can get on it. Yeah, it's a little weird that the door opens up and there's a hallway. Like the door opens up and you don't just go into an elevator shaft like in Florida. And yeah, it doesn't have like the forward motion area. But he was giving me all these reasons technically why it's superior, and saying that it's also the same reason that Tokyo Disneyland also thinks it's the superior one, because they decided to get a copy of our version.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of interesting too.
Yeah.
And same with like Walt Disney Studios Paris, like they have a carbon copy of our old one. But yeah, it's interesting to hear that. Wow, maybe the DCA one wasn't terrible, but Mission Breakout is what's carrying Avengers Campus now.
Yep.
And the entertainment is like just seeing Doctor Strange and all the characters out and about. Like it was cool enough when they were up on the second floor, but now that they're down mingling, the Wakanda people walking by doing their whole thing, like it's really, really cool. I dig it. I like it. I try to walk by. I love the shawarma. I'm a big fan.
I
haven't
tried that yet.
Oh, that's a must. Okay. Careful though, because you're gonna need to get it every visit. You can't just have it.
Okay.
But and I know we were kind of talking poorly about Spider-Man, there's some really neat stuff in the queue.
Oh, yeah.
I do like that it's old Stark Motors plant. I really like that. When I walk into Spider-Man, there's posters of like the flying car that Howard Stark invented, and I can't help but to think, I'm like, why isn't that the ride? You know what? Like,
Oh yeah.
Here's an attraction poster for what we're not getting, and like what's weird too about the Spider-Man ride is, yeah, it's more screens, fine, but like the last scene is the Phase 2 ride that's not happening. You see the Quinjet like flying through this thing, and it's really alluding to the Phase 2 ride that got cut.
I never picked up on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's because you go to each area. You go to Pym Kitchen, you go to Guardians, you go to the Santorum. I don't know. I don't think you go to Santorum, but like you go to all these places, and the last part is that. I don't know. Just like it's a video game, I would see in the Starcade and just walk by.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm not. It's not for me. I'm not the audience, I guess.
Okay, fair
But
enough.
I like it.
Okay.
I do like it. But I do. It is hard to see the Guardians Tower behind Carthay because I really like the Hollywood Tower Hotel behind Carthay. That part's still hard to swallow, but I know it's a fun attraction, so I deal with it.
Okay, right on. Okay, well, we had a good talk. Yeah.
Yeah, I could talk a lot.
Oh no, that's fine. We're gonna.
This might need to be 2 episodes.
It might have to be.
Okay.
Okay, before we wrap things up with Sam Carter tonight, we're going to do the randomizer.
Because it showed up randomly.
Because it does show up. And what I have all the attractions from both parks are listed here. And the top 3, I'm going to sort them again because I didn't like those answers. I'm going to sort them again. Oh, my gosh, this is pretty funny. And we get to keep one. We get to remove one. And we get to enhance one.
Keep one, remove one, enhance one.
Yes,
All right.
and if you enhance it, you got to talk about what it is.
You got to
I'm good at that.
give the enhancement.
You're very
yeah.
good at that.
I was born for this.
All right.
Okay, so the top 3 that came up in random order. That's actually an oxymoron, is it? Random order.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Astro Orbiter, Star Tours.
I think we know where he sits with that one.
Star Tours: The Adventure Continues, and Redwood Creek Challenge Trail.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
Do you want Sam? Since you are the guest, do you want me to regenerate the list? Are you okay?
No,
with
I'll bring it on.
Okay.
Okay.
Keep one, remove one, and enhance one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to start with enhancing Redwood Creek Challenge Trail
Okay.
with the Country Bears.
Ooh. Oh yeah. Hold on. I got to give the slow golf clap on that one.
Okay.
That is brilliant.
Solid
I
answer.
couldn't wait for that.
Solid answer.
But so that, and I don't know if that's a ride or a show. I would just we need Country Bears. We
Doesn't
need
matter.
need them.
Humphrey and Ranger Woodlore. We
Right?
need all those people in
Right?
Grizzly Peak.
Oh my
Yes.
God. Yeah.
Astro Orbiter. Which one on to keep? Star Tours or Astro Orbiter? Star Tours got to go
It says gotta go, baby.
because. But if it goes, that means it could go to Avengers Campus. So it's full circle.
Oh yeah.
It's all part of the plan.
Yes, it is.
That goes away, and I'm going to keep Astro Orbiter, but I am going to put it on the back where it belongs, up on top.
But I thought you liked it where it is.
I do.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So So I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of that. No, because the enhancement would be to put it back up for me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is the enhancement.
I'm
for
keeping
sure.
it, but I'm moving it.
Yeah. So yeah, for me the enhancement would be that.
You're cloning it.
There we
Put
go.
another one up there.
There we go. Can we put 3 more up there? We'll put another one over here. But no. But no, that would be my enhancement. Like that is going to be the one we enhance. So, like put it up there. Then we can leave Star Tours, even though really in all reality, like this list right here, I could do one. The only one I couldn't do. I mean, you said Country Bear, so I hadn't thought of that.
I haven't thought about
So
that
that
either.
is brilliant. Like I said, I'm going to give back to that one. Was brilliant.
We should have never gotten rid of it.
No.
Never.
That was a big mistake,
Never,
especially not
ever.
for Winnie the Pooh.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because it's like Winnie the Who at that
The
point. But
worst
anyway.
dark ride at Disneyland.
Thank you. I can't. I've been on it exactly one time, and I'm like, yeah, no.
It's
Never do
like
it again.
it's like
Never
a
go down
ride
there, yeah.
through a Disney store window display.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny you bring that up.
Murdered the country bear.
Yeah.
Because it actually reminds me of a question that we kind of came up with last time. But do you want to answer?
Okay. No. Okay. So then we'll do that. We'll get rid of the trail and then keep Star Tours. I'll make it short and sweet. There you go.
yeah. We have to get rid of Star Tours. We are going to enhance the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail.
That is great, though. I like that.
Yeah, you got to incorporate those guys. I never thought about that until now. I don't want to piggyback off of that. I mean, I thought you might have said something like make it more scary, like,
Villains Grove is pretty cool.
Villains
Have you
Grove
seen that
is-
for Oogie Boogie?
Yeah, I saw that last year and I was blown away. I could not.
It's the best thing in Oogie Boogie.
Oh, dude, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my gosh, where did this thing come from?
It's euphoric. I know it just, and I didn't see it coming. It's very, very cool.
No, we stood in line thinking, what are we standing in line for? This is some candy trail.
Can you imagine if you missed it? Like, can you imagine going to Oogie Boogie and not seeing Villains Grove? Like,
I can't now.
it's really cool.
I know, it is super cool. So I guess I'm going to lean towards the Country Bear Jamboree, or at least the Country Bears. I think that's a great idea. And then Astro Orbiter, yeah, keep it, but you got to move it to where it belongs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Move it to where it belongs. And okay, so just real quick.
I just like the sculpture. I don't necessarily like the ride there. I love that orbiting sculpture. It's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. We talked about this just real quick about Mr. Toad. Would you be okay with removing Mr. Toad if they extended Peter Pan's flight to make it like a longer attraction?
Holy cow. Well, I have a lot of thoughts on this.
Okay.
This is like a whole other show.
It is. Okay.
really
I didn't
could
mean.
be.
I've never thought about.
We think about this stuff a lot. So.
I've never thought about expanding Peter Pan. I mean, obviously Peter Pan is a popular ride. It's big weight. I think a lot of the sentiment towards Mr. Toad is due to it being removed in Florida. It's the Florida people that really miss it, like we miss Country Bear, People Mover. And I think that kind of gets soaked into our side of like, oh, we love Mr. Toad too. But I'm like, how often do I ride it? I don't ride it that often. I like it. I do not consider Mr. Toad a film classic. It is an attraction classic, right? Because it's an opening day attraction. It's but Wind in the Willows, no one watches this. No one knows what it is. It's, I'm the last person to be offended by a ride sending me to hell. Like
Right.
I think that's what's charming about it. I really do love those little devils on it. If I was brave enough to get a tattoo, it would be of one of those little devils. I love them. But I've noticed that those little devils, like I did buy that really cool Kevin and Jody Hawaiian shirt that's all Mr. Toad themed.
Dude, those guys do such great work.
They are my heroes. I noticed though after I bought it that those little devils aren't on it, and I'm like,
what?
Did they tell you to take them off? And were they had to have been on this because it has every visual from the ride. Why would the coolest part not be on this shirt? So I need to ask them. But okay, to answer your question, I would be sacrilegious. I know I would be okay with getting rid of Mr. Toad, but I would not expand Pan. But here's the problem. You can't just replace a dark ride like that with say Tangled, say something like that, because if you did a Tangled ride or anything from the modern classic right there, well, you're going to have a line that just won't fit that space. That Fantasyland is very intimate, very small. So it's almost like better just to keep it because it's an open day attraction. It's built into Alice in Wonderland, right? It's kind of like 2 floors, which is really clever how they did it. I just don't think you can get rid of it. I would prefer that they also switched our Mr. Toad to Winnie the Pooh, because then that would have allowed us to keep Country Bears over there. Because the whole thing was no one was going to Bear Country, no one was going out that way. And then Splash Mountain happened, and they were still making it sound like, well, no one's out here. Well, Now you put the entrance to Galaxy's Edge right there. Well, everyone's going right by there.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, that's going to be the pathway to Disneyland Forward, whatever's out that way.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have Country Bears on the main part of the trail to go to there. Like, I just think they should have held on.
I agree.
The dumbest thing about that was the same year that they closed Country Bears, they came out with a movie called Country Bears.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was the first kind of like movie based on an attraction.
I didn't know that was the same
Steve
year.
Gutenberg Tower of Terror movie, but like, yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a big Country Bear guy,
Sure.
and I think they should have kept it. And I would have replaced. See, here's the thing too. If you talk about Winnie the Pooh, you got to talk about Pooh's Honey Hunt in Tokyo.
Oh, I heard that's spectacular.
Yeah.
That's an e-ticket. That's like not Indiana Jones big, but like it's a serious e-ticket for Winnie the Pooh. So when you see what they're getting, and then we got our little dark ride. You can't fit the Tokyo version of Pooh where Mr. Toad is, but I don't know. I don't want to get too much hate for kicking Toad out, but
No, he won't.
I understand why Florida did it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why they got rid of the Snow White dark ride for a princess meet and greet.
Oh,
That's-
right. Right.
But I guess they didn't want 2 Snow White rides because they have the Diamond Mine over there. But
yeah, well, they've got that. Yeah.
would you
know-
get rid of Toad?
Would I? To extend Peter Pan's flight, I would.
How would you? But so you'd have to completely redo Peter Pan's flight. It would just, you know what? You would gut Mr. Toad, and it would just be for queue space.
Oh, then if
There's
that's
no room for anything there. That's the
if that's the
problem.
case, then I don't think I could do that. I couldn't do it just for a queue space. So maybe not. Maybe not then. Maybe not. I think you're right.
Think about, if you put something, if you made it really popular, then you can't fit a 2-hour line there.
No.
It's like you're forced to not do something awesome there.
Forced to
And if you did something that was kind of lackluster to strategically not have a long line, people are like, "This sucks. Why'd you get rid of Mr. Toad for this?"
yeah.
I've heard a weird rumor, which I don't subscribe to, but they want to get rid of Pinocchio for something else, and I'm like,
Doubt it.
well, Tangled is what I was hearing, and I did see some weird paintings inside of the queue for Pinocchio that I didn't notice before that looked like something that Rapunzel would have painted herself, but I don't know. Like, it's the same problem, is there's just not the queue space for something as big as that. But I would like to see Pinocchio Village House get rethemed to the Snuggly Duckling.
Oh,
And if you wanted to add a new dark ride to Fantasyland,
okay.
I would actually kind of eat up the space between Casey Jr. and that entrance to Galaxy's Edge and do a Rapunzel dark ride back there.
Oh, by the old Skyway Chalet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's where you put a new building and you actually just don't touch the classics. They're great. Especially with Snow White, how they enhance it, like how they enhance it, but you can't put a brand new ride there. There's just no queue space. But I could picture Rapunzel out there.
Oh, right on.
And that's what I think we might hear someday. Maybe not this D23, but I think we'll hear some updates to Fantasy. Like, I feel like our Fantasyland is due for an upgrade. I've kind of toyed with the idea of what if they ever got rid of Storybook Land and Casey Jr. Like,
Yes.
oh my God, like those are fighting words, right? But like, then I'm like, well, if you did Tangled, where I just mentioned, if you did Beauty and the Beast, where the Fantasyland Theater was, if you did Frozen by the Matterhorn, back by Motorboat, I'm like, okay, you could keep the old school area, but then you could have like the other areas sprinkled around. I go on and on, man.
Okay. Okay, well, we're going to leave it there, and we will pick up on this later because we have a lot to talk about. But so we will have a part 2 to this. If you're down for that.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Okay, for sure. Okay, Sam, can you tell people where you can be found?
Of course.
Okay.
I am way too all over Twitter, and I apologize ahead of time. I am at CarTarSauce. I am dropping weird nerd thoughts all damn day. I started a YouTube channel during the pandemic called CarTarSauce Theater.
Okay.
RE because it's fancy. And basically, I had home videos since the 80s and 90s and 2000s of all this Disney stuff I was taping, and I didn't realize how how awesome it'd be. So on YouTube, Carter Sauce Theater. And then my art website, I do a lot of gallery type stuff, samcarterart.com. Buy some prints, buy some canvases. And and if you want to hire me for a design gig on Carter Creative or samcarterart.com, you can find all my portfolio stuff there.
Okay. So people can buy your prints and canvases.
Oh, yeah. Please do.
Okay.
You support my churro habit.
There you go.
Okay. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Are you having any signings anywhere that you're doing anytime?
Well, I've been doing a lot. I'm doing more tiki stuff here and there.
Oh.
And I've been doing I'm going to start doing some live painting at the Long Beach Aquarium. There's a big gala that they're having there soon called the Seafair.
Okay.
I'll be live painting some tiki stuff by the aquarium there. I think we're auctioning off that piece. But I was doing some live painting at the Balboa Fun Zone. I've been obsessed with tiki forever, but I'm really starting to like pivot hardcore into tiki, doing some new art like that. Trying to do less digital, but I'm being kept busy, which is good.
Oh,
but
cool.
yeah, I'm always doing something new like that.
Yeah.
Right on. What's that tiki place you've been to that's right in Anaheim?
Strongwater. Have you been there?
Not Strongwater, but I've been to Stowaway in Tustin. It's a really cool
I haven't been
tiki
there.
bar.
If you have the opportunity, go to Strongwater.
I've heard good things about it.
No, it is amazing. We got lucky. I visited, almost a year ago now. But yeah, I got lucky. We waited because they opened from 5 to 10, and we waited in front like, can we get in? And we got in, and it's a 2-hour window. You can only be there for 2 hours, and man,
wow.
We're in there.
Is that the place with the pool? Is there a swimming pool?
No, it is tiny. It is tiny, but the theming and the food and the
is that
drink.
the packing house?
Yeah, it's out there. Yep.
Yes, I have been there.
Okay.
Hey, and when you go to Vegas, the Golden Tiki, you have to go.
Okay, I'm gonna put that on the list. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now.
They have Small World dolls in there.
What? Okay.
If you order a drink, they start dancing. Like the tiki stuff.
You're talking about
wait. What's it called again?
Dystopian
Golden
Nightmare.
Tiki.
Golden Tiki. Okay.
Okay,
It's
he's
really
he's
cool.
making
Thank
all
you
these
later.
notes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, awesome, Sam. Thank you again so much for spending time.
Anytime.
So, we have a confirmed date of but a plan to go to Knott's Berry Farm for chicken.
Please. And you did press record, right? Is this all recorded?
Yeah.
2 hours later?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
it totally is. Yeah.
All right, good.
All right, cool. So, again, thank you so much. And listeners, will check your work out, and we will talk again soon for more talk. Maybe after D23, we'll talk about
Yeah. Let's kind of like unwind and download and see what the
that would
good
be
or
great.
bad news was.
That would be good.
To see if Disney announces gambling or not yet.
Jeez. Okay.
They might.
They might.
And
Oh, they might do that, huh?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay,
there's a good
dude.
chance of that.
All
Hey,
right.
thanks, guys.
Yeah,
I'll
thanks.
talk to you later.
All right. That's
Bye.
bye-bye.
All right, man. See you later.
Oh my gosh, dude. Thank you, Sam Carter, for hanging out with us.
Always.
Always
Always a pleasure with that guy.
Always a pleasure with that guy. Truth be told, LTP listeners, that could have been another hour and a half to 2 hours.
If he didn't have things to do, and it wasn't like at 11 o'clock at night when
We wrapped up at 11:25 or something.
Yeah, and we could have kept on going, and it is one of those things that when you have people that you connect with and clearly love, what's going on, you can just go. I mean, one day, Sam, we will be sitting at a bar, hopefully Traders, hanging out, having a couple drinks, and just talking and talking and talking. You know what?
I hope it's multiple days. But
Yeah. You know what would be great?
What's that?
This would be great. Here I'm going to go in a pie in the sky. Imagine here.
Oh, what am I thinking? Okay, go ahead.
We're going to go. We're going to meet up with Sam, MBS, the LTP. We're going to go sit down, find a little corner, start talking.
Yeah.
Order a couple drinks. You order your weird edamame nonsense that you order.
What is that?
What or the little snap peas? What do you order over there? The things that I don't like?
You mean at Trader Sam's?
At Trader Sam's, yeah.
Those fried green beans?
Yeah.
Dude, those. You are the only one I know who doesn't like those.
Now I will never eat them on principle. But anyway.
Oh, I think they're super good.
So we're going to order those, and we're going to start sitting there, and we're going to start drinking and talking. Mm-hmm. And we're not quiet people. At least I'm not. You are a little bit more. You can be a little bit more subdued. But Sam, you get Sam going. I think. You know, we're going to have a very spirited, fun conversation.
Yeah, Sam was in rare form off air tonight.
Oh, yeah. Love it, man. I love it. I'm like, yeah, this is Sam. I love this version of Sam.
Yeah,
but anyway.
yeah, me too. It's like, we could totally hang out with this guy.
We could totally hang out
Absolutely
with this guy. And that's what I'm saying. We could totally be sitting there. You see where I got the whole thing? Like, we can be sitting at Trader Sam's. We're going to start talking.
Yeah.
We're going to start drinking. We're going to get a little bit loud, a little fun. And we're going to probably start drawing people in.
Maybe.
Because of our conversation, understanding that Sam's depth of knowledge and where he's been and what he's done and what he's doing, just talking about alone, in that venue, in that arena, people are going to be like, the ears are going to perk up and go like, oh,
Yes.
wait, what?
I know, right?
And then people are going to be like, what are we talking about? And I would not be surprised in the least bit. I'd be like, I would literally sound like, anyone who doesn't know is Sam Carter.
Sam.
And if you don't know who this guy is, Google him right now. And you're going to appreciate all his artwork and everything he's done. Google. I'd literally be like, Google the guy. Google him right now. I would totally do that. I'd put him on the spot. I think you'd be okay with it. I think you'd be okay with that, Sam. Google the man and appreciate what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, see, I thought you were going to say we would meet with Sam and he would maybe give us we could walk around DCA with him.
Oh, no, I would. That goes without saying, man.
We should do that. Sam, I know you're listening. In fact, I'm going to message him. We should try to set something up for that. How cool would that be?
That would be great.
Because his perspective of DCA is much different than anybody else's that we've ever met. Because, I mean, you have to, if you're there from pre-day one, from day zero, driving around in a car, anyways, we will set that up.
Well, no, and he's talked about it on the show before. If you guys haven't heard that, go find it. I couldn't remember which one because it's come up a couple times in passing why, and his point of view of DCA is a very unique one.
Yeah,
because of where he was in that time, in that time frame. So it's great, you know, for anybody who's a DCA, you know, whatever naysayer, non-lover.
No.
Listen to Sam.
Yeah.
Talk to him a little bit,
Yeah.
and then you may figure out a couple things like, oh, hey, I hadn't thought of that, or I didn't know that.
I was a naysayer, but actually found that I really enjoy that park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those of you, again, his address is samcarterart.com. That's one word, samcarterart.com. And he's got a lot of really cool stuff on there you can buy. He's got a lot of cool prints, a lot of pop culture prints, too, which I like. He's got a really cool Tomorrowland one. I'm not looking at it right now, but I know in my mind's eye, it's about 48 inches by 8. So it's long and narrow. But it's very, very cool looking, and I think I might have to. It's $100. If I can get him to sign that, I might pick that one up.
The one that I keep on to get, and you know which one we've talked about.
Oh, the Jungle Cruise. The Pirates or the Goonies.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a cool one.
Yep.
Oh,
It's gonna get bought.
yes.
It's gonna get bought at the end of the year. It's
Okay.
not gonna be for me though.
Oh. Okay.
It won't
Well,
be for
we'll
me.
see if he can sign it for us.
I know that's what I'm asking. Like, hey, Sam, I'm gonna send you a copy. Can you sign that for me,
For sure.
please?
Okay. Where can people find you? Udi?
You can find me on my other podcast, which would be The Mando Show, which we are on. We have been on hiatus. We've been kind of mulling over a couple show ideas because Disney Star Wars right now is kind of like on a big gap.
Oh.
But we do have a few things that are right on deck here, and as soon as that happens, we're going to start attacking. Now, we actually should be sitting down recording within this next week.
Doesn't Andor come out next week?
It's coming out.
Is it end of
No,
August?
end of September, mid-September.
Oh, I'm a little early on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're early on
All
it.
right.
But yeah, you can find me there, The Mando Show, which is a podcast about Star Wars and Mandalorian, and we cover anything Star Wars and Disney Star Wars and movie
Yeah.
TV show. We don't really go into toys. We do comics a little bit, books a little bit, because we have in our circle, we have that depth of knowledge. We all four of the guys on the show, Joey, Chad, and my brother Derek, we all have our own little take on Disney and what we're into and blah, blah, blah. So we all have a little bit of knowledge. But you can find me there. You can also find me on my Instagram account, which is HAXGOALIE, Haxgoalie. That will be the one that I'm always on. I don't have a Facebook because I'm not 70. And I don't use my Twitter because Elon left it a dumpster fire.
Okay.
Anyway, There you go.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. If you want to reach out to the show, you can send us an email at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. Also, Instagram is a great place to reach out at Leaving Today Podcast. You can DM us there, which many people do. We have a link tree on there that will have access to our Patreon page. And if you'd like to be a part of that, we make it super easy, and we're very welcoming to new Patreon people. We have.
Yeah. We don't have one.
We have a new one who's going to be on the show.
Yeah.
We're going to schedule that. He has a cool topic. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, you sent that to me, and I'm like, well, hey, and he's a patron, so guess what? He gets to come on and talk with us
whether
about
you like it or not, man.
And I don't know, man. We have a nice. We'll stick Jess on you, and
yes.
Most people can't say no to her. I don't know what it is. I have I have no problem saying no to her, but
you do not. No.
I know there are some people who can be like, whatever you want, Jess. But anyway, that ain't me.
No. And what else? Again, if you want to support the show via our T-shirts, you make it easy with tpublic.com. Search for Leaving Today Podcast or LTP. And all that information is on our website at leavingtodaypodcast.com. All right, this is going to wrap up episode 158. It's a little long. It could have been longer. So thank you so much for tuning in and sticking with us for this whole show. We do love you. We do appreciate you. Adventurers out there. We'll see you in the parks.
See ya.
Kitty.